I don't want to fanboy out, but I am a big fan of your work.
Thank you.
It's funny, anything I see that I really love, it always ends up that you're the dude that designed it.
Oh, thanks.
Like I go back and I'm like, oh shit, that's why. Yeah, Gary Ragle designed that.
That's
like,
awesome. I started my career at Mitsubishi, like I mentioned, and while that's not a glamorous car company, especially for a hot rod guy at heart, it was the best place for a young designer to work.
It's the two worst combos too, because the modern Mopar motors and superchargers are the tallest of any of the big three manufacturers. Yeah. And then the 60s and 70s Mopars that you're putting them have the smallest belt line that there is. Yeah. Like it's the worst possible scenario.
They're asking you about the car, and we're all like, yeah, we wanted it to look like a concept car. Well, now you feel stupid saying that. That's a real that's a fun concept car. It's
thank you.
Off to the Rings, you guys fucking killed it.
That was the best compliment that we could hear. We heard it a number of times at the Quail, and I appreciate you saying that.
Welcome, everybody, back to Oil and Whiskey. This episode is presented by HP Tuners. You got to remember, HP Tuners allows you to tune all the toys. What is that? Follow with me.
That's every single one of them.
Right. That's the truck that pulls your race car. That's the race car. That's the street car. That's the
project car.
Side by side. That's the power sports, motorsport, watercraft. They do it all. HP Tuners. Just down the road. Great friends. Core, MPVI4, all of the HP Tuners things. Doesn't hurt that they have some F1 ties as well. Kind of know what they're doing. This week we have the man behind many crazy ideas and some of the biggest builds from the best builders in the industry. We got Gary Ragle from Ragle Design. Gary, I've got quite the little spiciness on my S's for some reason.
Do you?
Yeah, I don't like it. Huh. I don't like it at all.
Is it just? I'm not hearing it. Is it just?
Maybe it's just in my headphones.
Are you psyching yourself out?
somebody has messed with my headphones. Oh, Gary, this was a long time coming, man. Glad we could put this together.
Me too. I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah, dude, great to have you. I mean, I'd say I'm shocked we have never really formally met, other than one evening being slightly overserved at a Roadster shop SEMA party.
Drunken night.
We may have met. I'm not sure. Yeah. I was a little fuzzy.
I know it's almost by design. Sometimes I wonder that I think Mike and Jim maybe keep you a little closely guarded. I'm surprised that you were even allowed out of the house. It's kept under lock and key, but here you are, man.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't introduce him. He came up and introduced himself.
Yeah.
Well, they introduced him at SEMA as, what was it, Barry Bagel or Gary Bagels?
Yeah. They're always good about saying, who worked on the design of the car, and then Mike says, lose his number, never call this guy, he sucks, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm gonna
pour some whiskey. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. We know of your work, obviously, but would like to hear some of the story and kind of do the it seems cliche thing, but I think it's good to hear kind of like what your background is and how you got into this. Especially to the path to making a living doing this. And I'm interested in some stuff too. I was just doing a little poking around on the Instagram this morning, and just going back. It's what struck me is the pushing of the envelope in so many crazy designs, and then your personal interest like all over the board as far as like cars. Like saw this at a show. This is cool. Yeah. Front engine dragsters and vintage stuff, which is great. Like that's. But I'm really interested to hear more on that story of like how do you get your mind set, because everybody has biases and interest in personal things and stuff like that. But with an art like this, it's open to interpretation. So. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
It is and it isn't. Like, it's hard to argue when something just simply looks cool, That's all I would say. And I don't want to fanboy out, but I am a big fan of your work.
Thank you.
It's funny, anything I see that I really love, it always ends up that you're the dude that designed it.
Oh, thanks.
Like I go back and I'm like, oh shit, that's why. Yeah, Gary Ragle designed that.
That's awesome. You can fanboy all you want.
Yeah, you want me to keep going?
Yeah, we got a couple hours, right?
And then remember that cootie you did? Dude, that thing was man, with the side and the scoops and like, fuck yeah.
I was a little nervous to do this, and my wife said, "Don't worry about it. They're just going to spend a couple hours talking about your favorite subject, you."
Okay.
I'm just kidding. She's hard.
Perfect.
On me,
Perfect.
But yeah, my background is maybe a little bit different than some of the other designers, and that might answer your question on some of those concepts. I started in the OEM side of the industry. I was a concept designer for car companies. Cool. I spent about 7 years at Mitsubishi Motors studio in Southern California. Spent a lot of time in Japan, so the Japanese whiskey is
appropriate.
is very appropriate. Spent about a year in Ford in Dearborn, working in the Lincoln studio on the exterior. But I've always loved hot rods. You know, my dad is a hot rod guy. I was brought up in it, like so many people were. And so I was always doing the hot rod or pro touring type work on the side. And it got to the point where that was more fun than the day job, and there was a lot of interest there. So,
what made it more fun from the day job?
The day job was, it got to the point where it was what I called warehouse filler. And it's the best job in the world, but you have to separate yourself from it emotionally, which is very difficult for a creative person to do. You put your heart and soul into creating these concepts and do a full-scale clay model. I did a couple concept cars, and then it was always just, great, thanks, now we're on to the next program. And it just became making models for warehouse filler. And that's the nature of that job, and it's totally fine. It's an awesome job. You just got to grow a thick skin to it. And, you know, it got to the point where it was getting hard to do that for me. And the hot rods, custom cars at that time, this was about 15 years ago when I started doing this full time, they were getting to the point where they were, the budget was there and the level of modification was there that they were basically concept cars in their own right. They just looked like a vintage hot rod, which for me, that was the perfect mix. So that's kind of why, you know, a lot of those concepts may be more wild, like the things that you've seen. I still, you know, my favorite cars are traditional hot rods, which is why, especially the 60s style drag cars,
cool.
Spindle mounts, ET3s, I'm in all that. So when it's my own builds in my garage, I've got a shop with my dad and we tinker with our own stuff. Everything, you know, there's nothing in there with any wheels bigger than 15 inch, 16 inch. And part of that is because it takes me so long to get a project done. I don't want to do anything trendy.
So
I
just
need to
do the
stick with
standard
basic
traditional
stuff that'll still be cool in 25 years when I get it finished.
Maybe put like 22s on it. It'll come back by the time you get it done.
Exactly.
It's great advice to a lot of builders out there too when you're starting on a 5, 6, 7 year build.
Right.
Yeah, that stuff's cool. I mean, Eric Black's kind of got that vibe, right? He's got a bitchin' 27 turtleneck, and he's into a lot of nostalgic hot rods. And yeah, it's funny what guys' interests are versus like what they do. I mean, the stuff you're doing is obviously wildly modern and crazy techy, but
some of the stuff couldn't be further away from, you know, traditional spindle mounts and you know, traditional hot rod stuff. So it's interesting to have a personal you know, direction or interest, you know, and then still be able to push the envelope and have these ideas that are just, you know, wild, cutting edge.
Yeah, I mean, if it's got 4 wheels, I'll work on it for the most part. But I find that the traditional hot rods, as much as I love them, designing them is not quite as fun because there's a box to work within. Yeah. There's a box to work within with all of these vehicles.
Is there?
The box is smaller, I think.
Does everybody know there's a box?
Well, not everybody, which is the problem.
Boxes make it good looking.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's almost, you know, a traditional hot rod, oftentimes it's almost like a Chuck Taylor sneaker. Yeah. You know, it's like that's just how a sneaker is supposed, like a lot of people have screwed with it. And I don't want to. Josh wears them, so I don't want you to take this as a compliment, right?
Don't worry.
But like, you know, what are you going to do to it that's going to make it look any better than what Converse did? And if you are going to make it, you sort of like maybe you'll emulate what was done there,
right?
Which is traditional hot rodding.
Yeah.
It's in talking about the traditional hot rod stuff. There's envelopes been pushed in that world. Obviously, you know, you look at. We always bring up Pinky's, right? You know, Pinky's done some great stuff, you know, Loaded and, you know, Hemrod and some things like that obviously it's stylistically inspired by traditional hot rodding, but they've pushed the envelope, right? You've machined some stuff. I mean, you even stuff that Simon and Garfunkel from Adam and Troy, there's you can stay down I use the terminology like guardrails, right? There's some guardrails to go down a path, right? You don't know where you're going to end up, but you're not going to veer too far off the road. You can bounce off again, off of them and stuff like that. But you're right. There's more of the traditional stuff has more of a body of work, or the amount of times that it's been done. That like if you think of a truck, right? A truck is a certain way. A truck looks a certain way because that's the way a truck is. Like you said,
Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor looks like the way it is. I mean, a 32 Roadster kind of looks like needs to look like a 32 Roadster.
Right.
69 Camaro now should look like a 69 Camaro-ish, but it could also take on a mind of its own and become its own creation.
Yeah, there's I find myself getting two different types of projects. One is the beloved vehicles that the customer wants to do something with, whether it's mild to wild, 55 Chevys, 69 Camaros. These are iconic cars that as a designer, you need to be really careful about what you modify and what you change.
Yep.
You can still change a lot, but you just have to be careful and keep it a 69 Camaro. And the other cars are the ugly ducklings, or the lesser known vehicles that are a little bit more.
There's no rules then.
Yeah, there's no rules.
They didn't like them when they were new, so who cares?
Exactly.
Yeah, 48 to 54 Chevy truck, right? I mean, who would have thought of that, right? To do what you did with it, but it's not. It's a fine truck, just like it is.
Yep.
But if you're going to start modifying it, what do you do?
Yeah, that
AMC Marlin. Keep bringing that one up.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to build a cool Marlin one day.
I'd love to see it.
I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
You would not need to be scared with that one. You could go ahead.
You do whatever.
There's got to be at least 2 Marlin guys out there who are like, that fucking ruined it. Yeah. Killed the lines.
Right.
The Marlin Club.
Yeah.
But it is. It allows the juices to flow that much harder. And
yeah. And I love both types of those projects. Both are their own challenge. And I kind of find most of the work can fall either one of those two camps.
Yeah.
Well, in the beloved, iconic builds that you just went through, I assume too there's opposite ends of the spectrum from the the end user, the customer that's paying the bill, and the shop that's building it. There's it's already a 55 Chevy, right? We're building a 55 Chevy because we like a 55 Chevy, but. Let's tweak some things. Let's do some things that are, make it a little nicer. Then there's we want to build the baddest one ever. We want to do something nobody's done before. And then it's like, ugh.
Right.
Well, a lot of people have tried a lot of things, and nobody does it anymore because of a certain reason.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
I want to lift off hardtop full-time roadster.
Right.
Let's cut the fins off of 57. Let's put fins on a 55.
Uh,
Not all ideas are good, which I'm sure you got to deal with a lot, right?
Yes, I do, and I try to. Usually I can steer the customer my way, and I just let my work speak instead of my mouth. I always tell all of my customers that my pencil is much smarter than my brain is, and if they have an idea, I'll always sketch it and give it my best effort. And then if it's not working for whatever reason, I'll give them my proposal as well. And 9 times out of 10, they see it my way. And sometimes, I've had customers that have come to me with the most harebrained shit that I've ever heard of. And I sketch it out and I'm like, what, that is really cool. That works, Mike Terzich with his carbon fiber 37 Woody.
That was
Clay Cook. Had one of your chassis.
Yeah.
He came to me. That was one of the first projects I did as a freelancer when I started doing this full time. And he's like, I want to build a carbon fiber Woody. And I didn't know Mike. He's a character. Yeah. And I was just like, dude, I don't know if this doesn't make any sense. He's like, I want a stock silhouette. I just want to replace the wood with carbon fiber. And I did a sketch of it, and I was like, what, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Like that could work. I've had that happen a number of times. I try to keep an open mind with all the customers. And
you really do. I experience that all the time. Like if you get set in your way, I'm not a designer, but I built a lot of cars, and certain things where, a customer has an idea and you're like, I don't know. Like, even I'll tell you, the wheels on that square body crew cab out there, you sort of get in a groove where I was just going to put the standard hubcap wheel we use because I know it looks good. And the customer, he's actually a good friend of mine. He's like, bro, we got to put fucking those old school, like American racing style wheels on there, bro. And I'm like, dude, those wheels suck, man. Are you sure? And yeah, we ended up, I think they look bitchin'. I mean, I was not for it originally, but as a finished product, it probably couldn't have looked better.
Yeah.
So, yeah, every once in a while, you got to check yourself. And there's some customers have some great ideas.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And some, not so much. You just got gently steer them the right way. And, not, like I said, most of the time they see it.
What's harder, not enough ideas and input from the customer or too many?
Too many. 100%. Yeah. It's most of the time I deal with the shop owner, so they kind of serve as a filter between the customer and myself, which I am very grateful for in a lot of cases. The customers are great, but I've had some that have a lot of ideas. They're as bad as I would be. I would be the worst customer ever to build one of these cars for. Because I would just want to have my fingerprint on everything, which they have the right to. The whole process should be fun for them.
Right.
But yeah, when they have a lot of ideas thrown at you, it can be a challenge. Because you just find yourself kind of walking that line, trying to talk them into seeing it your way, having conversations with the shop owner, trying to manipulate the direction of things. But
back to you started talking about warehouse filler work, and you have enough side work to kind of maybe make that move. How'd that conversation go? So, like, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna break out into this and make a go out of it.
I was at Ford at the time on a 9-month contract, and in the middle of doing a full scale exterior model for a Lincoln SUV, and they wanted me to come back. They wanted me to renew the contract. And I just told them, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to move back to Cincinnati, which is my hometown where I'm from, and design hot rods. And they thought I was fucking nuts. Yeah. They were like,
good luck, dude.
No, yeah, good luck, dude. Nobody leaves Ford.
Right.
Especially to go do that. And I think now, I've had a couple of the designers tell me that they were a little jealous of the projects I get to work on. And, I've kept in touch with a lot of my friends there. And it was not a difficult decision for me at the time. I started my career at Mitsubishi, like I mentioned. And while that's not a glamorous car company, especially for a hot rod guy at heart, it was the best place for a young designer to work. There wasn't a lot of designers there. It was a small company. At the time, they were building a lot of cars. Chrysler owned them. And I just got to get my hands on everything. And there was none of the, what I call Mr. Potato car, where one guy does the headlamp design, one guy does the body side, and one guy does the back end of the car. There was none of that happening. If your theme got picked, you were doing that whole exterior.
Oh, wow.
Which is
it's pretty cool.
Virtually unheard of.
It's rare
for OEM studios. So I was fortunate enough to do a couple of concept cars when I was there for the Detroit Auto Show. Did a SEMA build and did a whole bunch of advanced production type work. Spent a long time in Japan working. It got to the point after Chrysler sold them, they didn't have quite as much money. So they started shipping designers instead of shipping models across the world to Japan. But that was a fantastic experience.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It was awesome. I lived in a hotel room that was probably smaller than this studio. I could almost touch both walls at the same time for about 3 months at a time to go over there and do models, and did a concept car build over there.
That'll keep you in the studio that much longer if that's what you got.
It's
like, let's just work.
They are work hard, play hard. Let me tell you, we'd be there until 8 or 9 o'clock in the studio, and then it was off to the bar, or, karaoke or whatever, and until midnight, and then catch the last train and right back at it in the morning. So
that's a place I always want to visit, just because it seems like I can't think
of my list.
Can't think of anything else that would be more culture shock, because it seems from pictures, it seems wild.
It was incredible. So the studio was in Nagoya, which is a big town, maybe kind of like I don't know, Cincinnati or Cleveland type size town. Not Tokyo, but it was just outside of Toyota City. So Toyota has an actual Toyota City that is all Toyota offices, factories.
How about that, Henry Ford?
Right, yeah. Yeah. So Mitsubishi was kind of in the shadow of this giant over there, you know, but it was awesome. On the weekends, I would travel around, take a train, go. I went one time to, it was out near, it was in the middle of nowhere. I forget the name of the city. Oh, Motegi, Twin Ring Motegi, to see a Super GT race, like the Japanese touring car race.
Okay.
And it took me like 2 days to get there on all these different trains. And this place where this racetrack was literally the last stop on the last train. Like it was the dead end.
Wow.
One train car just kind of chitty bang bang along the track. And then I get out and there's a lady like cooking fish like on a barbecue right there. And I took a cab to the racetrack and spent a day there. And it was just by myself. It was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to go there and find wherever those dudes, those like Elvis-looking dudes hang out. Have you seen all that whole culture?
I've seen them
It's
online.
Like, these like Japanese dudes with huge pompadours, like, and they're dancing in the street, looking like James Dean or something. Crazy shit they do.
There's a lot of similarity. Even, I mean, the Japanese culture. There's a lot of similarities to like the 40s and 50s American, you know, culture of, you know.
Yeah.
You work, you dress a certain way, you do this. I mean, there's very much some similar standards. And yeah, it's on top of my list. Yeah. You mentioned Henry Ford, though. He did some pretty wild shit. There's a couple.
Yeah, he had a forest right in the Amazon, didn't he, at one point?
He did have some of that.
Because they were manufacturing
rubber, right?
Yeah.
But the shit he did in Detroit with some of his houses and hidden houses and the hidden tunnels and like secret boat houses that you come and go, and then there's tunnels under the water that would like go from the factory like into a garage and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was like running some different, you know, women and things and stuff in and out.
Okay.
Even like some like for long term like families and stuff. They're crazy shit. The amount of money spent into doing some of the things. There was some passageways and
interesting.
Yeah, cool shit.
That'd be pretty cool to find somebody that's got some insider info on that. I mean, I've read some books and stuff, and it's wild. But I'd imagine during Henry Ford's reign, they're probably not a big fan of the Japanese. You know, it's a certain timeline.
Yeah,
there was a lot of people that he was not a big fan of.
Yeah, that's what
I have heard that.
Right, the quotes still look cool. When you see you ask customers what they want, they'd say faster horses.
Yeah,
hell yeah, dude, Henry Ford.
Which is really funny because now that was another shock going to Ford after Mitsubishi. They did so many clinics on design models at Ford.
Really?
Where they would show models to a focus group and get their opinion on it. And I kept thinking about that quote.
Yeah.
Like, Henry Ford would not want to show these people this or give them a choice. You know, it was...
Yeah.
Different time.
The highway or the highway.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, anybody that's going to be that driven and have a mind to work that way to do those types of things, you're bound to have some fire out their opinions, whether you agree with them or not. That's just part of the, like we always say, there's no free ride. You got to give up something. You can't be a great person, super talented and good looking.
Yeah.
There's going to be,
it's hard.
You're going to have
you're doing a good job though.
Yeah, you're going to have some skeletons in the closet somewhere. It's just haven't come out yet. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, we've all seen that picture of Elon in his bathing suit, right? I mean, Elon does a lot of badass stuff, but
yeah.
So, we all have our. We don't win at everything, right?
Yeah. He's an alien, so he's going to look a little different in a bathing suit.
When you're being at Ford, do they embrace that heritage? I mean, is there any sense of that working within Ford, or is it just so disconnected?
At the time that I was there, it felt a little disconnected. Yeah. I thought it was really cool because the studios and the courtyard where they show the models had not changed. They've since remodeled it all, and it's all different. But I've seen photos of clay models for 65 Mustang Fastback in the same courtyard
that's cool.
I was looking at a model in.
Yeah.
And
remember Craig Metros was talking a little bit about that. He's coming back on. We're doing round 2 or whatever. So
awesome.
in a couple of weeks. So
yeah,
we'll have to ask about some of this secret Henry Ford stories where the bodies are buried.
But yeah, it was like walking on hallowed ground there. I really enjoyed it. A lot of the designers were, they were ready for something new. It wasn't a particularly creative environment, old brick walls and, but I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Just because of that.
Yeah. That's it's got to be a tough job, to your point. You're talking about, like, you're designing these things and where do they go and who appreciates them. You think back, it's like a kid working their ass off on their science fair project, and then it just never goes to the science fair, right? Nobody sees it. Nobody. There's probably a certain. You probably don't do this for a living for the praise, but human nature, you sort of want to be like, hey man, that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, exactly. And it's when I started at the companies, it was about doing a cool rendering. That was the goal, and I always looked to some of the older designers and got demos and worked my ass off to develop that technique to make good imagery. And then it was to do a scale model, to get your design picked to move on to a scale model, because it's always a competition. Everybody does their theme and you'll get it picked or not. And then it was to do a full scale model, and then it was to do a concept car, and then a production car. And it's just always kind of, at the end of the day, we're making cars.
Yeah.
We're not here to make models. We're here to make cars for that people will drive.
Yep.
And that's what I love so much now about doing the hot rod work, is that
really different.
Every project I work on, almost every, turns into a real car that runs and drives and makes an owner happy, hopefully. Yep. And it's really satisfying that way. I mean, yeah, most of the time they're not blank sheets of paper. You're doing kind of a facelift to one level or another, because it's based off of an existing vehicle. But at the end of the day, like I said, we're making cars, and that's what is the most satisfying to me now.
For sure.
Yeah.
You see that much more now. Obviously you see it. Most of the stuff getting rendered nowadays, a higher percentage of it's getting built. If you go back to like the mid 2000s, I feel like it was like everybody was so quick to render something. I mean, it was like people were like render racing in the forums and stuff. It was like, check out the new Camaro, check out this. And nothing ever got built.
Before you even bought a part, you got a render done and start. But it's interesting you're talking about the different types of people, especially on the creative side of things, and not getting to see the thing get created, right? And after doing this podcast for so long, we've talked to so many different types of people, and designers and makers and creators and business people and all walks of life. It is interesting hearing that everybody's like itch is scratched a different way, right? So a lot of on the design side of things, you have gone through those. We've had designers on here, and the art and the thing that they want to do is what they're getting to do, right? Whether that creation gets built or not, they're being satisfied with coming up with the ideas, putting pen to paper, or honing their skills on do clay and then do a die knock wrap and getting to see that. And then it's on to the next thing, and they got so many ideas. Like, they're being fulfilled by being able to get paid to design cars, whether or not those cars get built or not. Then there's other people on the creator side of things. It's like, no, I just got to see it get built. Think you're probably the same way. Like, there's ideas, and I enjoyed the process, but if as much fun as the process is, if the thing doesn't get created, whatever it is, like the thing doesn't happen, like it's like a sneeze that you didn't sneeze, right? It's like it's gotta come out. Like, I've got to see it, and then
it's an interesting way
on to the next thing. But everybody's kind of built a little differently, and their appetite's satiated in a different way.
Exactly. I've always been a little bit more of a gearhead that can draw versus an artist. A lot of designers in their spare time, they might do an oil painting or, have some other type of creative outlet. I never do any of that. If I have spare time, which I don't right now with young twins at home, but I would go in the garage and work on my car.
Right.
And it was just, that was my avenue to be around cars and create cars. I had just enough skill that I could draw them and had an eye for it. So that's probably why it bothered me that they never actually got to be cars, or so rarely got to be cars. Whereas for a lot of folks, like you say, just creating the art and the creation is enough for them.
Yeah. Not to go down too far in the rep, but like I've said before, all of life is transactionary. Nobody does anything because they just want to do it out of the kindness of their heart. It's all transactionary, right? It's a dopamine rush. It's a transaction. It's a psychological thing. You're going to donate money to a charity. You feel good, and a dopamine rush.
Let's be honest, it's fucking tax write-off.
And it's a tax write-off, right? It's everything. Everything in life is transactionary. You're doing something for the feeling, or this in exchange, or whatever it is. And job is no different, right? Whatever the transaction that you're getting, right? You're going to go to a certain point and do a certain thing, unless you're not getting that transaction anymore, and you're going to go off to another thing, right? Yeah. And some people could just draw all day long. Some people could, would have to see it created. Some people have to do everything all, across the board. Some people just love being in the business and working their way up to executive and like, this is great. I've made a great life. My transaction and my dopamine rush comes from what I do on Saturdays and Sundays, right? I take this money and I trade it in for this next thing, right? That makes me feel good. Everybody's different. But my hang up has always been, we've had this same discussion with a bunch of different designers. My hang up has been like, yes, but if you know that idea is cool and everybody said it's awesome, and then when it gets built and you see it on the showroom floor and it's not what you designed, that would be my last day. Like I wouldn't be able to. But again, from a creation standpoint, like that's where, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? You'd be the same way.
Yeah, probably.
If like you're like, this is the way. This is awesome. Everybody's in. And then it gets cut and cut and cut and cut. And we're like, well, we can't really do the hood like that. And this needs to be this, and then a little vanilla. Yeah. It'd be tough.
It would be. Unfortunately, that's a lot of hot rod builds go that way because it's budgets and such. And
well,
love to do that, but
we're still building cars.
Yeah,
like you're getting when you're doing a design with a customer, right? And you're having that first conversation. You're trying to get the background on what they're doing. Most of the time, I'm sure it's repeat customers, and you have your own design language and short hand that you're talking back and forth. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Along the design phase with newer customers, how much of functionality is coming into play if they're saying like, no, like lower, like wheels bigger, or like do this, when you're kind of like, I get what you're trying to see a cool picture and it would look better that way, maybe, but it won't work.
Yeah.
Or is it like, that's for the builder to figure out, not my problem. It does look cool that way.
Yeah, a little bit more of that, maybe, if I'm being honest. I'll steer them towards the builder, and like I said, it's typically the builder that is my client, and we're building it, working together for the customer. But I try to make sure all of my work is grounded in reality. I'll cheat the wheels an inch or two and make it a little bit lower, but I understand that it has to be a driving car at the end of the day. So if I see that they're going that way and need to be checked, I'll bring it up, or I'll refer them to the builder and be like, hey, I'm sure they can make it sit this low, but you just completely changed the budget of your build because now new inner fenders have to be made, or floors got to be cut out, and you have to make all these concessions for it to sit that low. So. I'll usually refer them to the builder.
When we had Sean Smith on not too long ago, we talked a little bit about, because there's a time for selling the excitement.
Yes.
Right? And making sure that, holy shit, this gets the juices flowing, this gets the customer excited, gets the money flowing. Like, we're building this thing. And then there's time for the blueprint. Then there's time for, like, all right, well, specifically, how does this interact with that? And it's like, fashion. You go fashion show stuff, whatever. It's like concept cars are pushing the envelope. It's not to say that this car will be built this way. It's to...
Yeah. Well, you sure as hell don't want to be safe.
Yeah.
But I'd say when you look at a designer, in my eyes, somebody that you want to work with, it's almost like working with an architect. if that dude designs, so you spend a lot of money there. If he designs something that simply can't be built, like what the hell was like awesome, dude? It looks fucking super cool. But if I can't build it, what the hell's the point? And being that you know, it sounds like you're a gearhead. You've built a lot of stuff. You can fabricate. You can create things. That's probably super helpful. I mean, that's the type of guy I want to be working with if we're in engineering. You know, you just met Mike O'Brien. Mike can build it. He can physically build it. So he knows how to design it so it can be built.
Yep.
Probably pretty helpful, you know.
Yeah.
You're steering the ship. You know, it all starts with you, so it's
right.
You got to get them off on the right foot.
It's a fortunate place to be. It's a real blessing because the designer's role is usually one of the first steps in the process. Mm-hmm. So everybody's still excited. Everybody still has money to spend.
Budget's still wide open.
Budget's still wide open. Yeah. Whereas I always kind of feel for the upholstery guys that come at the end.
Paint and body and upholstery guys are
where you know, it's coming down to the wire, and they always go over budget, and those poor guys kind of they're the bucket at the bottom that a lot of stuff funnels into sometimes. So it's a good place to be for sure. And I always try to keep in mind that, you know, the sketches, the renderings, it's not to say it's meaningless, but we're building a car. Like, that is just one step on the way to building a car. So, you know, I never get hung up on anything. We can always make any changes. I'm always open to it. You know, I think a lot of creative people kind of get locked in on their particular answer or their way. And I always it happens to me, but I try to keep in mind that we are trying to build a car together here, and you know, whatever it takes to get to that car in the end. So if things have to be raised, or if the supercharger, if I wanted a nice flat hood and that's not going to work with the supercharger package, you will work around that.
They just need to make smaller superchargers. That's the biggest problem.
Smaller superchargers that make more power.
Yeah.
Easy.
Right.
Super easy.
Just do that.
I don't know why you guys keep making them bigger.
Because everything has to have 1,000 horsepower, right?
Yeah. Just go back to nitrous. Just fucking screw a little nozzle in there, as much horsepower as you want.
Right.
Be way easier on our chassis engineers. The motors keep getting taller, and
I know.
Well, you deal with like the Mopars. Well, let me walk through that, because that comes up a lot with our customers, because we build chassis and everybody wants it as low as you can get it, and you want the most power you can get, and it sort of stacks up.
It's the two worst combos too, because the modern Mopar motors, and superchargers are the tallest of any of the big three manufacturers, and then the 60s and 70s Mopars that you're putting them have the smallest belt line that there is. Yeah. Like, it's the worst possible scenario.
And you've dealt with it now on the Rings did the CUDA. And they did the Charger, which are both cars that you rendered. How did you handle that? How much did you struggle with it? And how did you just tackle that, being that it's sort of fixed based on our chassis and that ride height, where the top of that supercharger is? Are you like, fuck these chassis guys? Like, God, how am I going to make this work?
That motor needs to go down some more.
Well, that's the first question. Can we do a dry sump? And then the answer is no. Yeah. And I say, okay, well, that's what I figured. Now I'll figure out a hood. And there's always tricks. You know, I learned a lot working within the engineering package on new cars. Everything I worked on was a front wheel drive shitbox, you know, CUV of some type. So there's visual tricks that you can employ to kind of disguise the ugly areas of the car. So, for example, if there was a big hood offset that we had to deal with to clear this supercharger, you can kind of do a layer cake type approach where there's a couple, like a step on top of a step on top of a step, to kind of disguise the added height.
You're sneaking up on it. Exactly. We're going to come up a little here, and then once we get down there, we're going to come up a little more.
Exactly. If it's a muscle car where graphics are appropriate for it, that's another thing. You know, you can play with. A darker color tends to recede a little bit. So there's always tricks that you can do.
Or you just paint it bright pink, and then everybody's looking at the paint and they're not even paying attention.
Exactly.
Another trick.
Yeah, both those were bitchin' cars. I mean, I love both those cars. Yeah. And you did a hell of a job with them. And I know that's a challenge when you're dealing with that hood height.
The CUDA wasn't as bad. For some reason, the Charger was it was like we needed like an additional 4 or 5 inches on the hood, which is totally common with that Hellcat motor. And
you got any recommendations for me then? Or you think maybe step up, do some sort of a graphic?
Tell you what, do some graphics on the pants.
You think so?
Yeah.
A little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Step up on the soles a couple.
You do platforms, yeah.
You don't want to
Just not one big
not
one.
You don't want to
big
do
one.
it all in one place. You need to spread it out.
Got it. Okay. Now, with all those renderings, too, I mean, we've worked with you, with the ENYO, and you take a much different approach than a lot of guys do. You're not simply drawing a picture. You've designed that car, I mean, almost 100% in SolidWorks, right? What type of program are you using?
Alias is the name of the software.
Got it. Where do you start with that? Is every car done that way? How do you approach that?
Not every car that I do. If it's appropriate for the build, yes. I think getting into the CAD modeling, it just enables you to do a level of planning that you can't otherwise. Whether the parts are going to be made out of CAD or carbon or old school metal fab, that kind of doesn't matter. If the build is going to that high level, if it's $1 million plus build, it just helps you plan things out more in advance. Like, so for example, on ENYO, Adam, your engineer, was able to give me the wheel package for the front of that truck. So those front tires, we settled on a wheel and tire size, offset and everything. So he gave me kind of this sphere shape, which was the tire in every conceivable position.
Yep. Then you can tuck everything up.
Exactly. So full droop, full compression, left, right to the lock, kind of creates a ball that you have to work around.
It was right after the fact, right? We gave you the right shit. I'm just making sure nothing hit.
That one didn't have any fenders.
That one,
high boy.
Yeah, that one was a little easier because it didn't have fenders. But did the same thing on the Aston, and that had a more modern kind of wheel to body relationship where the wheels weren't tucked, and you're trying to get that fender gap as close as possible. So we were able to kind of work around that sphere. And that's just one example of the amount of planning that you can do with CAD like that. It's not always right for every build, but like I said, those higher end ones where the investment is there and you're making a lot of body modifications, it helps a lot.
Now, the Aston would probably be a better example because it's, when I look at the Aston, that's definitely more of it's a very sexy car. The lines are beautiful. ENYO's more just in your face, badass. Like I could see how you can get away with designing that exclusively behind the computer screen. On the Aston, was that a challenge at all to make sure, like when you're just looking at it right in front of you in 3D versus what that
perspective and proportions,
how that comes out, when you're looking at it in real life?
Yeah.
Is that a challenge at all? Are you confident in tackling it that way?
I tackle it. I'm not 100% confident.
A little bit of roll the dice.
Because there is scaling issues always coming from computer to reality.
Okay.
An ideal way to do it would be to mill out a full-size model, kind of evaluate.
Is there nothing in VR that you can do now with?
There is, and that helps.
Is it pretty close?
I think it is. I haven't used it a lot, to tell you the truth,
okay.
But I've heard good things about it. I know a lot of the studios use it now, and I think that does get you a little closer.
And you can actually
walk around it. And,
I mean, everybody's got that first, side, get the front free quarter, then you kneel down, squat.
Yep.
If you can do that in, VR with your render, I would
absolutely.
Obviously, milling out a buck would be,
that's
obviously the fastest way to do it.
Yeah.
But we're not OEs, know?
Yeah. Although the budget is there on some of these builds. A clay model wouldn't be totally out of the question for some of them. But most of the time I'm aware of the things that will have scaling issues. And I'll even print out like a full-size mock-up just to double-check myself and catch myself with a lot of those. But there's always things that you miss. On the Aston, as soon as I saw it in the flesh, there was a couple body side sections that weren't quite, crowned like I would do. Minor stuff, because I've done it quite a bit at this point. I kind of know, what's coming.
Are you seeing it all during the fab side of things, or did you see it finished first?
That was the first time I saw it when it was finished. I see photos, of course, but they had it so that car debuted at the Quail during Monterey Car Week. And the first time I laid eyes on the finished car was in the garage at the house that we were staying at in California there. So, and it was like emotional moment for me.
Like
that one was a
meeting your twins for the first time.
That was a special.
It's got to be such a cool feeling. Envious, honestly, because we've talked about that so many times. Because at the end of a build, when you've been living with it for so long, like I love my wife, but there's been some long weekends where it's like I'm done with seeing you, right? And that's the same way. I mean, everybody that's trying to be funny, but you know what I'm talking about.
It sounded pretty serious to me.
Everybody that's lived with a build, because these cars kick your ass, right? They kick you in the nuts every day, and you come back for more. They fight, especially with a car of that level. The tension and the stress and the that big of a stage, you know, Jim and Mike aren't seeing it with your eyes, right?
Right.
They're like, things in one fucking piece. It's shiny. Let's get it wiped down. It's probably gonna like. That's their bar, right? But to see it like the customer sees it, and to see it like with fresh eyes, I'm like, holy shit, very envious of that, right? You know, because there's been times we've joked about it that you've built a vehicle and you know it's years go by, and in happenstance you either see it at a show or something like that, and it's coming at you, and you're like, holy shit, look at that, and then it instantly dawns on you like, oh fuck, we built that. And then you finally get it. You're like, oh, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
I actually got to like the thing, you know? Not that you don't like them, but...
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think that's that sense of accomplishment that you missed at the OEs? Does that car sum it up in that scenario?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that car was to the level, I think, of a concept car.
Yeah.
And you're right. That is exactly the feeling I have when I see those cars. Every time. It never goes away, even though
awesome. You suck.
Even though I've been staring at them on my computer for, you know, I was looking at the Octavia, the Aston Martin, for 2 years. The build process was about a year, a little bit more, but I had started my end of it a good year ahead. So I had been staring at that car, helping to create that car, but then seeing it in the flesh was like the first time I'd seen the thing. And it's always that feeling. It's fantastic. At one point during a photo shoot or something, Nancy asked me to drive it, and I said, first of all, there's no way. I'll help you. I'll dust it off. I'll help you load it in the trailer. But I was like, I cannot drive that car. I don't want to be responsible. But really, it was I get so much more of a sense of accomplishment of seeing it drive. That's kind of the first time you really see a car is when it's driving from a distance.
Of course.
And for me, that's the best part of the process. So to tag along for a photo shoot or anything like that, it's my favorite thing to do. I'll get up at 4 a.m. every time to go to one of those photo shoots.
That's awesome, man. That car, you know, I've said it before, but that is an absolute game changer. When you talk about that, like this industry evolving to almost making concept cars, and that truly is like that is a full-blown concept car. I don't think there's been anything done to that level or executed so well. And that look, I mean, guys have put a ton of labor hours and stuff before and spent a lot of money, but the finished product I don't think has ever been that beautiful. And it's just, it's awesome to see, because we've all had these fucking interviews for the past 20 years of, like, you know, when you win a Goodguys award or something, or they're asking you about the car, and we're all like, yeah, you know, we wanted it to look like a concept car. Well, now we like, you feel stupid saying that, you know. You're like, you know, we made a few billet switches, you know, and we're like, and I stole them off a fucking GT,
not a concept car,
Ford GT anyway, right? It's that's a real, like, that's a fun concept car. It's hats off to, I mean, the Rings, you guys fucking killed it.
Yeah, that was the best compliment that we could hear. We heard it a number of times at the Quail, and I appreciate you saying that. That was the goal all along, is to make something that looked like Aston would have made it.
Yeah, and even driving it. I mean, I was forced to drive it, which I didn't really say no to. And driving that car too, it's like, it's not a hot rod.
Really,
these hot rods, as much as you try to perfect them, there's always little things, you know, that make you realize there's some old car aspect about it that you left untouched. Right. I mean, that car, there's nothing left. It's about as good as it gets.
Yeah. Besides the Ben Gay smell, I mean, it's just like a modern. car.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's just what it is.
Right. It's just the drivers.
Speaking on the concept car stuff. So 15 years ago, you mentioned, getting into the pro touring stuff. It's kind of when you made the jump to get in. So follow along with me. You're going to understand this, right? So
if we got to follow along, if you're saying
it's not going to take that long.
Because I've got limited attention span. You know this.
I know.
So
just try hard. Try real hard.
Try. When I lose eye contact, that's when I'm.
You're already losing eye contact now. Well, there's a lot of technology and a lot of advancements in skill and the ability to do a lot of things in the last 15 years. I think the biggest has been in the interior, right? So 15 years ago, whether you were doing it the best way, the right way, there was ways to get around a visual thing, right? With either a painted surface, a carbon surface, or a plated surface, flush fitting glass, wide body. Like you're seeing mostly paint. There's CNC, there was machining, there was even 3D printing on some stuff, albeit new. Mm-hmm. You could create the exterior really, really damn close, if not exactly to the interpretation to the rendering, and nail modern supercar, concept car level quality. The problem was the interior, that technology and ability and at least our ability to access that type of look and quality, albeit some great interiors that were done, you could not get. I mean, if anybody's been in this long enough, you remember the massive leap in going from a flat door card to getting some dimension, right, and what that took for the industry and the trimmers and the interior shops to take it that way, right, and then be able to take it where it was an actual, not 150-pound door panel or something like that, where
because you could do it, it just needed like a hinge pin upgrade, right? You got done doing it.
And I'm not. This is not to talk shit.
I know what you're getting.
But that's the thing that was lacking. Like you could have the suspension, you could have the brakes, and you could have plating and PVD and crazy glass, and you could have carbon, and you could have paint and body. You could have the best guys out there, and that thing would be slick, and you could tuck everything. You could create this stuff. But to get an interior to weigh that would level that, that would be at the level of a supercar or even just to match the renderings, let alone trying to get to concept car level. That had to be difficult on your side of things, I would assume, because being in this long enough and knowing what we went through, I say we as the industry, trying to get there. Yeah. That was the one thing when you'd see a rendering of a car and then you'd see the interior, and you'd see the rendering, see the rendering outside, and you're like, well, fuck, the outside looks, and it's like, I see they did what they could.
Right. I think there's a couple things that explain this. One is, with these cars, we're all modifying an existing car. Well, most of the time on some of the more high-end ones, you completely scrap the interior and you're starting from scratch. You're not doing that on the exterior. You're adding rocker treatment or chin spoiler or a hood, but you're basing it off of an exterior that's established, that you're typically not radically changing. Yep. Then, oh shit, we got to put an interior in this car, and you just have a void, a big metal void with a transmission tunnel to work around. A big one, usually.
Bigger than you'd like.
Yeah. So the level of execution just hasn't been there. It either early on, it was some big swoopy center console that didn't match, kind of left over from the street rod era of things. And now I think if I'm being honest, the technology is there and the craftsmanship is incredible, but a lot of interiors I see look overly CAD built, look a little stiff. The materials are beautiful, everything. I'm not knocking anything, but if I'm being honest, you can tell a computer did it. So that's, I think, the challenge that we have now. It's swung almost the other direction. I really wish people with particularly 50s and 60s cars would leave the interiors alone a little bit more where they can. Some of these cars have gorgeous
I'm with you, man.
dashes and IPs in them. Yeah. It's
well, what's a shame is the talent of some of those interior shops and trimmers, 15 to 20 years ago, in their ability to stitch and foam and carve a seat, and the things that they were so good at. And then the thing of not being able to catch up because of access to 3D printing or CAD to get the door card, the door panels, and integration with the dash and stuff like that. If those two technologies would have been combined at that point in time, you'd have some really great interiors. Yeah. The problem is as to your point, as the technology has advanced and so many great interior shops have pushed the envelope and continue to get better and better and better, the thing that is lost is that artisan craft of the foam, crafting, and knowing how to. I mean, there's some great interior shops out there that, because of technology, they don't know how, or they don't have to even stitch or sew.
Right.
And that's difficult when it comes to a seat. And a seat, I don't know if you've driven any cars before.
You sit in it
the whole time you're driving.
Yeah.
That is your interaction with that vehicle built. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna start doing this podcast just like, be more like most of the fucking seats.
Sit on it instead of in it.
Yeah,
motherfucker. Let's focus on sitting in it.
It's a double-edged sword, because everybody focused on that of like, let's be able to do. Everybody that's been in this industry for the last 10, 15, 20 years, right? We've all had the same exact conversations, because we were about to give that speech of, we're trying to build it like a concept car, right? And we're trying to replicate that silver.
I just feel stupid about that comment.
We were all trying to do what we're. Well, you tried to replicate that one silver, anthracite style finish that the OEs were doing, and you finally got that down. You're trying to do this stuff. The thing that you couldn't get is like, you knew what the interior needed to look like, and you had the rendering. You're like, no, like a little bit of this on, like, why can't we build the door panels like that? You guys are the interior shop, build it.
Right. From the designer standpoint, like, I think you did the Johnson's 32, right? The pink one. And that's a car, like, just look at the interior. I mean, it's fucking perfect. It's just super crisp, tight. There's nothing over the top there. It's just well executed. I mean, I'm assuming that you sketched it up, right?
Yeah.
And you could have gone, I mean, those things could have been 3D printed. You could have had all sorts of shape. You could have done whatever you wanted, but you drew it, you designed it the way it should, and it was executed.
That car,
right. Yeah.
The way it
a lot of it was just how good Alan is. It's that
car is so cool. That's the Grease Monkey Princess's car.
Yeah, Mackenzie. So they're Eric McKenzie's dad is a friend of mine. They're out of Cincinnati also.
Drank a lot of beers together.
Oh yeah. And he came to me with the idea for that car and wanted me to do a rendering to show Alan before he had presented Alan with it.
Oh, because he was trying to talk him into that pink is what he was trying to do.
Exactly. That's a perfect example of the wacky customer request that at first I was like, dude, you want to put black flames? Like, what is this, 1994 here? Like,
but you pulled it off.
Do this. Oh, and then as soon as I did the rendering, I did it pink first, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. And I put the flames on it, and I loved it. Like, he was 100% right. And Alan had the same reaction. Like, when he saw it, he's like, I'm on board. I'm
gonna find it. I went.
When I looked at it, I thought the same thing, because you look inside, you're not expecting that. Because just to your point, like, the first thing that comes to mind is like, that's like an 80s that you could have totally massacred that, but somehow it works.
Yeah,
It just does.
Alan spent a lot of time getting the right shade of pink and doing a lot of spray outs. That was part of it.
I don't get like super overwhelmed with like the correct pigment or the color when you're at a show or something like that. That generally doesn't become a thing, and especially doesn't come a thing with pink. Like, it's just not a. You like some of the brighter, crazier colors and stuff like that. Pink ain't for me, right? At Columbus, when I saw that the first time, I saw it outside, like, I kept coming back just to get close and look at the color.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It is an amazing color. And now, like, there will be something that I'll have to have painted in that color. Obviously not a car, but there'll be, it's just such a good color to look at.
Well, what's weird is for being bright pink, there's something tough about the car.
It's super hardcore.
That's why we didn't put hubcaps on it. I think that was maybe a controversy at Grand National Roadster Show that it looked unfinished because it didn't have any hubcaps on it. But that was 100% intentional.
That sounds something stupid like Bobby Alloway would say.
I rendered
something dumb.
I don't know where it came from.
It's going to go over good.
I rendered the car both ways.
Yeah.
I did it with white walls, and that was too much. And as soon as we did the black Steelies with no caps and the black wall tires, it needed the aggressive, the toughness to offset that color. So
it gives you that vibe of that like 70s front engine dragster, even though I can't put in my mind a pink dragster ever.
Right.
But it gives you that like the bright, crazy, but still tough and hardcore.
Exactly. Yeah. That was kind of the default. Anytime a decision came up in the build of that car, I would default to maximum badass to offset the pink. So
it fits her perfect too, because she's maximum bad. She was ready to throw hands at the party that time when she wasn't allowed in. I was like,
I missed that. I heard about it. But
she's ready to take on like 3 big bouncers, and I think she would have won because she was ready to go down.
Yeah.
Now you said you're a big you like 60s hot rods.
Yeah.
Are you a Tony Nancy fan? You ever follow any of his stuff, like from front engine drags?
I've seen the dragsters and the upholstery work that he did and everything.
That just, again, it looks like that car with that sort of like crisp ass. It's simple, so simple, but there was something about it that was just well executed, good design.
Seahorse, right?
And it had, and it had the diamond tuck.
Yeah.
The upholstery in it. That was probably, to be honest, that was really all I designed on the interior. Was just, I knew Alan would do a fantastic job with everything, and it was
You got lucky on that one,
traditional 32, traditional 32 Ford Roadster, but the diamond tuck kind of going into pleats. That was taken from a Bugatti. They do that on some of their models, and I thought it would be really cool for this, and Mackenzie loved it. So
great. It was a great car.
Yeah. When looking at that with the do all the designers share the shifter design? Because Chris Gray, every shifter he does is just a gentle arc.
Oh, really?
Eric Brockmeyer, every shifter he's ever drawn has always been this
I
gentle
think
arc.
that's in the toolbox of all the things. It's whatever. It's just drag it. Just drag over the
there's
shifter.
a button in Photoshop that only we are privy to. That
only the pros.
It's also funny too on because I know it's done because it works and it's the best, but there's certain vantage points or viewpoints. Driver side front 3/4, right? The same front 3/4 from the from the interior. Like there's standard vantage points that most everybody uses, and I've always said, like, all somebody has to do is just throw one from the passenger side. Like, you would stand out as an artist because you would be doing it from a different direction. There's
on interiors, every now and then I will
flip it
sides. It kind of depends on whether the steering wheel covers the cluster or not, and what we're trying to show in the design. On the exterior, it's interesting that you mentioned that. So I always show the driver's side of the car, especially if it's a profile view or a front 3/4.
Most everybody does, don't they?
Because most people are right-handed.
Okay.
So when you're sketching the cars, you're pulling from the front to the back.
Yeah.
I've worked with some guys that are left-handed before, and they're drawing the passenger side, and I can't even look at the profile. Like, it screws me up so bad.
Yeah, so it's like profile this way, you're going from small to big.
Yeah, when you sketch it out, you start from the front of the car, and the line you typically will flow towards the rear of the car. So because I'm right-handed, and most people are, that why.
Makes a lot of sense.
Interior is a different thing, but on the exterior.
Yeah, I could look at this stuff all day, dude.
There's so much cool shit on here. So much cool shit.
Thank you.
Seeing the different versions of that ENYO it's kind of neat. Having been sort of a part of it, it's cool to see how it evolved.
Yeah, I pride myself with surrounding me with people who are better than me. So I am not a CAD modeler. I did not build those CAD models. I worked back and forth with Kevin, a guy who's super talented on those, and work with some different people that I have contact with at the OEs.
Sure.
So that, alias modeling, particularly when it comes to bodies, interiors, that's a career in and of its own.
Yeah.
So that's I leave that to the pros, but we worked real closely back and forth trying to get everything right. And
before we get into ENYO, because it's going to be a conversation in and of itself, we're hopping back. You made the jump, right? You're going to leave Ford. You're going to do this full time. What was the biggest? You had some jobs, right? You had some stuff. Mm-hmm. What was the first big I should have done this a long time ago. Now I can pay the bills. This was going to be a big one.
Probably the Woody for Mike, the carbon fiber Woody for Mike Terzich.
How did he find you?
I'm not sure how he found me.
Because you didn't know him.
No, I didn't know Mike or Denny.
Did you know who Clay Cook was at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was so close to Cincinnati. And I think my dad had bought some Polmax dies from him or something. So
everybody did. I knew. Everybody bought Polmax.
But at that point, so when I was at Mitsubishi, they closed that studio. That was in 2008 when that financial crisis hit, and kind of pulled the rug out from under us and closed that studio. And it was during that time I was searching for other jobs but needed money, so I started doing the hot rod stuff. And that's really when I picked up Mike as a client, I think, and we just were at the beginning phases of that Woody. And then I got the gig at Ford, went and did that, and was still doing the hot rod stuff on the side. But that Woody turned into a pretty involved project. So that was the first one where it was, doing some CAD modeling on it and really designing it, not just.
That was a long-term build too. That thing was 5 or 6 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I'm not sure that's what Mike Terzich had in mind, but that's just what happened.
No, I mean
there were some ups and downs with that one, if I recall.
Hey,
and I love Clay. Clay was a good friend of mine, and
that's one regret I'll have is we were never able to have Clay on the podcast.
Yeah,
obviously,
super talented guy.
Yeah,
great stories and great.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He would have been a good one to have some chats with.
It's a huge loss to the entire industry. The wealth of knowledge and experience that he was.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like he was just getting started. That was the first real turnkey hot rod that he had
put
done
so much work into getting the shop kind of where it needed to be and putting everything into place. Like you're right, it was just about to get. But at the same time, again, love Clay. He's his own worst enemy of how talented he was, because even going up to the shop, or he was on our trailer there for a long time when he was launching the product, the Seacook design stuff and the valve covers and a lot of the things. Every show he was there. He was co-oping out of the booth and doing stuff, and me and him would talk for hours and then do dinner and stuff. And you go to a show, he's like, hey, I'm setting up this thing, and I've got power hammers, and I've got this, so I'll be ready to start rocking and rolling. 3 weeks later, you see him at another show, and you're like, hey, what's going on? Oh, I didn't like the way, the platform was doing, so I machined these pieces of wood and then do these stringers, and he's showing pictures. And it's like, you're super fucking talented. That's awesome. You also need to get to work. Yeah. That's the craziest, most elaborate foot control that I've ever seen for, that Yoder. But how about getting to work?
Perfection is the enemy of
completion or
whatever progress. It is. I catch myself in that trap sometimes too. I think it's a common thing for people in our industry. It's the level of everything has been driven up to such a high,
when you're
standard,
that talented, that able, and that much of a tinker, and that much of a literally, he told me there's stories of coming into the shop one morning and going to work, and then the door handle or the hinges or something, and then he spent the next 3 days remachining the door.
He was sort of a freak of nature, right? He had something going on in his head that nobody else had. We're
just going to build this engine block from scratch.
And he would do it.
He would. He had it.
I spent a lot of time at his shop. He taught me a hell of a lot, and just the things he would dig up and show, check out this old tool here, and pull this thing. And you're like, how the fuck did you create that? It was all to One of them was to stamp like the recess on a round air cleaner or something. It was like this whole like phenolic dye set thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, like.
But by the time it took you to perfect that dye, that trend of that thing was gone. Like you just.
Yeah. I love going to his shop because, like you say, he would pull out all kinds of little gems and show you that. And I'm not even a fabricator, you know, but I could still appreciate what he was doing. And
his shop was really cool. I mean, everything. It's so much equipment crammed into this little space, and it was so well organized. And like I remember, even his like bathrooms, you know, there were everything. There's like little machine things here and there, and there's lists on the wall, and like. Yeah, he was probably his own worst enemy. Yeah, you know? But
get after it.
Sorely missed, man.
Yeah. No. So anyway, Pro Rides, Terzics, Clay Cook, the Carbon 14 Woody.
Yep.
Big build. Long time, you know, coming to completion. Did you go to Detroit when it debuted?
I did. Yep. I forget what year that was. Maybe 14 or 15?
That was before that, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know. It was, it was a good project for me.
Yeah.
Maybe 14?
That was
I would have guessed 12 or 13, but
that was the one we've told the story before here, where there was a particular roadster shop.
I was wondering if you'd bring that up.
Employee that almost just sort of ended its debut.
There almost wasn't a debut.
We were helping out clean some things up. Guy that used to work here.
What was his name?
I'm not going to mention names. We don't need to mention names. That's not important to the story. He's walking through the booth. Remember that was like on that split thing?
Yep.
And he trips, and it's like, as he tripped, he was just determined that the only thing that was going to stop his fall was the grill on that car. And I think Phil was standing right there and like grabbed him. It was like this close to, that would have been the biggest fail.
I walked up like 30 seconds after it happened, and Phil was white as a ghost and was explaining to me what just almost happened.
Oh my gosh, I never heard about that.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw it. That we've told this story.
He would have. The car would have came off the stands. It would have. Not his only fail at Detroit.
No, that was one of many. Yeah. That was the car then that, I mean, did it just set the stage for you? Were you all of a sudden, were you an overnight sensation, or how did the rollout happen? How did the career ramp up?
I don't feel like it was. It was more just a slow burn. I was fortunate enough to never have to do a lot of hustling or marketing for myself. It was just one thing led to another, and you know, Mike had some other jobs for me after that one, and it just kind of took on a life of its own. You know, I started doing Instagram, and that was fantastic for me, and introduced myself to Mike and Jim at Columbus one year and had good timing. Right at that time, they were starting a new project and needed some help. So,
well, obviously they had to meet you there, because it sure as shit wasn't on Instagram. I mean, I don't think they have Instagram for typewriters yet, do they?
I like that one a lot.
I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds. No comment.
That's all right. We'll take care of that for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to bite that liver spotted hand either.
You know what's funny is Mike sometimes makes me feel old, because, like I said, I'm really into traditional hot rods, and he has no appreciation or understanding for them. Yeah. He makes fun of me when I start talking about 32 Fords or whatever. He says,
those things are probably like space shuttles.
They all look, they all look the same. And why are you into those old man cars and all this and that? And I keep telling him one day he'll grow up and mature and appreciate a real hot rod. But
those things were buzzing by him when they were riding around in horse and buggies. They don't like those little Model Ts, little race cars.
So Instagram, back at it.
Yeah.
Instagram obviously helped start getting things rolling.
Yeah, it got my work out there and my name, and just kind of the phone started ringing. But I don't feel like it was overnight. But
what was the first project that Jim and Mike had you work on?
It was the Blizzard Mustang, the 66 fastback, the white one. So that was just smaller stuff, you know, doing a front valance and bumper treatment and graphics and things like that. And then it kind of went from there. The first real big one was the Javelin, the AMC Javelin that they built for Prestone. So I went to their shop to check out the car and kind of start the brainstorming process for the build. And that car really benefits from that wheelbase stretch. Like that thing from the factory looks, it looks like you hit the brakes and the body slid forward on the chassis. The wheels are completely in the wrong place. So we talked about stretching that wheelbase, and Jim asked, well, how would you make that fender? Or what do you suggest with the fender? Because it's a really sculptural piece on that car. It's not just square like a Cuda or a Challenger or Camaro. And I said, well, the way I would do it would be to 3D scan it. We can build it in the software. You can make a mold for the carbon. And I thought it would just go right over their head, or they would say, no way. And he was just like, great, let's do that then. And I was like, shit, well, okay, now I guess I got to figure out how to do this. Do it. But that was really they have so much trust in me, and it's I know sometimes it puts them in a hard position because that control over those parts leaves their shop. It's off in the ether somewhere in my computer, and then it goes from there to the carbon supplier where they're machining the molds and everything. So there's a long period of time where they're waiting on parts. They're sitting there with one of your chassis probably and waiting on all these parts to show up for this model kit that doesn't exist. Yeah. So it takes a lot of trust on their end, and it's not lost on me. I really appreciate that. But that was the first car that we really kind of took to that level. And from there, it's kind of each one
just
snowballed if the customer is there for it.
That car was bitching. I mean, that's a very difficult car to do, but the tail pan on that car was one of my favorite styling elements I've seen. I just loved how well executed that was.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sure that's a love it, hate it car for most people because it's it's a body style that's, to some, it's probably only a face a mother could love.
Right.
But it's
what
you and the Rings did with it was pretty damn cool.
I think that's a good example of a car, one of those ugly ducklings, where you can just pinpoint what's wrong with it and fix that. As soon as we did that wheelbase, the thing looked bitchin'. Yeah. All the rest of it was just, cake decorating after that and just details. But that wheelbase completely fixed the proportion issues on that car, and it looked fantastic after that.
Yeah, AMC, they've got a wheelbase issue across the board. Like, because we did it in AMX. That we're just it's sort of just about getting ready for paint, and that's another one that it's just the wheelbase is wrong everywhere. Like it's odd.
Yeah,
it was
awkward.
Like it was like they took a gremlin and made it like 25% better.
Yeah,
but we flared it and changed some things around, and it definitely put it in check. I mean, the proportions of it are cool.
Yeah,
no Marlin, but
no. I don't know what you do. How would you tackle the Marlin? Crush it?
Yeah, right.
That big back glass you could do so much cool shit with.
Yeah.
And it's slab slided like the early gen Chargers.
It's got some cool lines on it for sure. It's
pull one of those suckers up there. Didn't they do one? Was that? Oh, I'm thinking of the Rebel machine. The Rebel machine had the all the red, white, and blue crap with the little bolted on hood scoop.
I've always wanted to do.
Top,
I've always thought that a Marlin in all-wheel drive but rear engine would be the thick.
Oh, wow. See that motor under the glass?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this masterpiece. Yeah. I don't. You could put the most beautiful motor under that glass, and it would still.
But that's bad profiles from this side of things. You could do.
Yeah.
You know what I do a lot? I will try to do a search and find some of the original design sketches for the car from the era.
See what the intentions were.
Because you can see what they were thinking.
Yeah.
And there was some incredible artists back then, just the force perspective and the renderings that they would do. And a lot of times you can see exactly what they were thinking before the bean counters and production messed it up. So that would be one thing I would do on this. And
start there.
like any car, I always start with the profile and kind of just.
I'm not saying it's a beautiful car. I'm saying it would be such an interesting car to do something really wild with because of how unique it is. But there's some profiles that, I mean,
that's a cool thing to hear. I do that all the time too. When we're starting on something, I always look. Yeah. I start Googling to see, because to me, and you've been in that space, which is cool to hear, to see, because I'm curious what the designers wanted to do. and what everybody then told them can't be done because they had the concept cars always look badass.
Right.
And then they cut most of it out. Like the 0506 Ford GT is probably one of the very few cars that sort of adhered to what like the concept drawing maybe was. I don't know what else. Maybe the Lincoln Blackwood. Second to that is
another style.
One of the greats. But that's
well, the budget was there on the GT. You know, that's a fairly limited production vehicle, and the cost is high, so that gives you a lot more leeway. You know, to do that stuff. A lot of it is crash, pedestrian impact. Hoods have to be so high, you know, and over the engine or over any hard points, that hood has to have a certain amount of clearance. So if you run into a pedestrian at 5 miles an hour and they flop down on the hood, the hood deforms to a certain point before it hits anything hard. So with a front-wheel drive vehicle, that's hard because the nose is so short and that engine is there. So then you have to have this long overhang, and there's all kinds of issues. And I've been out of it long enough now that I'm sure there's a whole crop of new issues that I don't know anything about.
With the ADAS that's in there now too, and the heights of all that stuff.
Yeah. So honestly, I try not to judge new cars that much, especially until I see them in person, in the flesh, on the road. You know, there's the talent level that these designers have at these different studios. You know, and a new Audi comes out, and we all sit around and talk shit about it. Like, dude, those guys know everything. They've been down that path. There's a reason it looks that way, and it
is funny. We've talked about it a couple of times on. Not all the time, but a lot of times, some of the more polarizing design changes, you know, rolling model design change, some of the polarizing things, whether it be the new GMC pickup truck when they change, you know, a big grille design, or the headlights get even bigger, or it gets even more fucked up looking, whatever the path you want to take. Or I mean, think of BMW when they went to the large kidney beans, right? When they went to the big ones.
That was the first thing that came to mind. I don't know anybody that liked it, and now everybody's sort of just like, were they right? And we're just not. We don't have the consumer doesn't have a good enough eye.
I think we're all fucking stupid, and we just bitch about change. We're like,
is that what it is?
We're like zoo animals that you. Yeah. I still got the food and water. You just moved it 6 inches over to the right, so I'm gonna bitch about it.
Yeah.
And then you become accustomed to it. If you moved it back the other way, I'm gonna bitch about it too.
Yeah.
You become accustomed to seeing those things, and now you see. The BMW era that you thought was the best one, and you're like, oh, that's the old one.
Right.
Those big kidney beans now, you're just like, oh.
From a design perspective, though, I mean, you're looking at it through different eyes. Is that the right move? Was that big-ass BMW grill, was it truly better, and we just didn't, the general consumer didn't have the vision for it?
I think.
Or did it truly suck?
In that particular case, there's good, in my opinion, there's good and bad executions of it. They did a couple concept cars where it looked incredible, and I could see where they were headed. And I think it works on the M cars, like on the M3 or whatever, where there's enough other things going on, and the car sits a little lower so that thing's not way up in the air, and there's a lot of other elements there that help that grill. On the normal 3 Series, I don't particularly like it. And it hasn't grown on me yet.
Okay.
Whereas do you remember when the old 7 Series came out with that weird back end? And everyone was so pissed off about it. Yep. After 6 months, I loved that thing. And today, I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think, and even when the Dodge Ram came out back in the day, like in the 90s, that was the first one that had the semi-truck styling.
Yeah.
That upset a lot of people when that came out.
It was 94?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
93.
And that really grew on you, and
it was a sport truck too. And when the ones that they had, they were killing it back then.
Right, yeah, right. But at first, people were straight up. Also Dodge trucks had the same front grille for like 37 years. And it was and then they said, you know what, fuck this. Right.
Let's go to the Peterbilt looking thing and drop the headlights, and people were pissed.
Yeah.
But it was also 10% of the truck buyers too, because they were getting killed, so they didn't have a choice.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
I guess my point is most of those designs that everybody so strongly opposed. Fast forward 3-4 years, and we sort of all like I can't think of any now that I dislike. Like the BMW, you look at the M series cars now, and they look. The old ones now almost look weird.
Yeah. The front of the 7 Series, though,
took
now
a little bit of time to
not for me.
Took a little bit of time to fall in love with it, but maybe they're just playing on another level. And like when you look at interior designers and architects and stuff, and you're looking at that stuff, and you're like, oh, I don't know, but it's
I get what you're saying.
Just that maybe that either that much better than us or a little too eccentric. I don't know.
But why? First of all, I think there's a difference in saying like. Were the designers right because of the acceptance rate, taking longer than what we think it should be. But the BMW, to use that example, BMW kidneys, beans on the front, being too large, and it sent ripples and shockwaves, right? You talk about the Dodge thing. There's times that happened, and then time goes by, and it just becomes the new norm and standard because you're used to it, whether you like it truly or it's just what's there, right? And it's the newer version than the old version. But then there's times that a brand new style comes out with a vehicle that you love, right? And you're like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome. Can't believe they built that. Can't believe they did that. So which one, like, it's not that they're always thinking ahead. There's just some things that catch a different group of people than.
Yeah.
But you're also looking at cars that. Who gets super excited about the new Santa Fe that comes out?
The taillights are pretty cool.
Some of the other crossovers are like, oh shit, you're not going to believe what they did with the Traverse. Look at that front end.
Yeah. Right. Well, again, from you as a designer looking at new car stuff, what impresses you and what do you look at and you're like, oh, the hell were you guys thinking?
For me, I always value something that looks good over something that looks new. Like I think a lot of designs now, because they're all just cars. They're 4 wheels, engine, people go here. The silhouette on new cars is established. It's either a sedan, which there aren't many of anymore, or some random size CUV.
Yep.
It's just a hermaphrodite right now.
Yeah,
it's just
full-size truck.
It's a bean.
Yeah.
So a bean with wheels.
The silhouette, when you start one of those programs, you get a package drawing from an engineer, and that silhouette is the same, almost no matter what brand it is with modern vehicles. So it's a tough job. They have to cake decorate and skin that thing and make it look innovative and different from all the other brands out there. It has to have brand character of their particular brand. They're working 5 years ahead. So that's something that a lot of people don't understand, is that they're starting on a program 5 years before that car hits a road.
Yeah.
In this day and age, a hell of a lot can happen in 5 years. So, that's a difficult job. But
you can go from everybody fired up about EVs to nobody wanting EVs.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's a tough job. But for me personally, I always try to sit back and just say, is this a good looking car? Or is this just trying to be new and different?
Yep.
And there's a lot of them out there right now that are just trying to be new and different. Body sides look like they're caved in for whatever reason, and highlights are weird, and that's not a beautiful car. A Porsche 911 is a beautiful car, no matter what trim level you get, no matter what year it is. And they're not innovative design-wise, but for me personally, I value beauty over newness.
Got it.
Which is probably, again, part of why I'm drawn to the old cars. And I have that conversation a lot with customers. I say, let's make change for improvement, not change for the sake of change.
Love that.
Yeah. And
I want to be different. I want to be different.
Right. And it can still be radical. You can still make improvements and make it as crazy as you want. But, we all love these cars. You chose that car to build for some reason, right? You must love your 69 Camaro or your Marlin for some reason. Let's keep it what it is and only make change for improvement, not for the sake of change. So it's kind of the same thing. I value the beauty of the new cars over just newness.
What do you think the max infotainment screen is going to be?
I think there's going to be a backlash to all of this. And I think you're kind of already starting to see it.
Who's going to be the first OE to start going the other direction?
I don't know. I hope Ford does it with the Mustang, because that one killed me when they brought the new.
With that giant.
Yeah, Mustang has to have that double hump dash. It has since the beginning.
You also have to have a nice one to buy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have them all just as entry-level cars. I get that you can have it, but you've got to have the one that somebody would aspire to go buy.
Right. Yeah.
That's an interesting topic to bring up. Like, I got in Mr. Lee's Mustang. What is that thing? GT.
He's got the new Shelby GT 350. The new.
So I hopped in the passenger seat. And it's a fast car, performance car. And you're sitting in there, and I'm like, I don't pay a lot of attention to those cars, but you're sitting there, and you're like, what the fuck is it? It doesn't feel like a muscle car. It doesn't feel like a performance car. This looks my fucking wife's SUV. It's a panoramic giant screen. It's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's going to be good for our industry, because I really do think there is going to be a backlash to some of this, and it won't be everybody. The people that use a car as an appliance are always going to use that car, and hell, it'll probably get to the point where they're renting it, not even owning it, and it's just, a different one shows up in their driveway, and they use it like those scooters you rent in the cities. But
I could get behind that.
I think it will be good for our industry, because it will drive a lot of people to us. A lot of people that like cars, as cars evolve and they no longer have the visceral kind of emotional connection. You ride in a Tesla and they're the fastest thing on the road. They're badass. They look great, but I've never owned one, but I've ridden in them. And by the third pull they're doing with that acceleration, you're almost numb to it. Like, it's incredible 100%. The first few times, but then it just becomes, because it's only engaging like one of your senses. There's no sound, there's no smell. That thing's not banging through the gears.
Right. And then you realize you're in a Tesla.
Right.
And it's kind of like, fuck this.
So I think those people, the part of the public that likes cars, that's enthusiastic about cars, I think they will find their way to us. And we just need to be there with something for them that's not $700,000, something that normal people can afford. And it's getting to the point now where we can pass emissions with, some of the stuff, the GM crate systems that they have and everything, and fuel injection. And I think we can provide them with something that could be pretty interesting and minimal infotainment. Yeah. I think people are kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm an old soul at heart, so I might be wishful thinking here, but
I'm with you 100%, because to me, technology absolutely peaked in 1995 with the OBS Chevy pickup truck. Like 3 knobs on the dash. Yep. They had probably like the techiest thing on that was, in the center console, you flipped it back and it had that little CD holder. That's all. Like, that is all I need. Yep. And it's just gotten so out of hand. Like,
it has.
And I'm, technologically challenged.
No.
These guys, Josh knows it, but like, I get my wife's cars, I won't even, I'll have to just communicate with her to change the climate, because I don't want to learn it. Yeah. Don't even tell me, just do it, because this thing, it's this giant screen, and you got to slide it, and then it's got haptic feedback, or it doesn't. And you go to this screen, you go to that screen. Yeah. I think you're spot on with that. And I think, to me, the company that is so interesting, I don't love it because it's electric, but that Slate, have you been
the little truck?
Yeah, it's so cool.
You check out the new one, the REO.
What is that?
It's the guy in Texas has bought the REO Speedwagon rights, and they've got a truck coming out. It's going to be $21,500. He's a real estate investor.
Gas?
And gas.
Well, that's for me.
It's
that's the only thing that in my mind, like, it's got a neat design. It almost has like a square body Blazer kind of look to the SUV one. But they've taken everything out of it. It's just, there's no frills. It's got crank windows. You can put a Bluetooth stereo like speaker in the dash if you want. If not,
that's cool.
It's got just too much Eastern European, like Slavic stand. I didn't know they built vehicles. Like, it's got,
there's a sliver of that.
Yeah, it's like It's the country that you see that comes on the World Cup. You're like, fuck, where's that at? I've never even heard of that one.
Well, maybe a little lift and some wheels and tires.
We can Americanize it a little bit.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I guess I'm an old soul or boomer at heart. I'd hate all this stuff. If you give me air conditioning and I can listen to my phone through the stereo, that is all the tech I need. And
I'm almost to the point now I think I could do without a radio. Short of if we're doing long trips, if I want to listen to some podcasts. I've found myself lately, probably in the last 6-7 months, like so much stuff going on. We don't have a long drive. It's probably 10 or 12 minutes to home from here. And I've found myself for probably the last 6 or 7 months, I don't even listen to music in the ride. I'm not thinking about something, I'm not turning it on. Short of the your settings, like knowing that the seat is in its position and the steering wheel is in its position, like from electronics, jumping in it and everything's where it needs to be. Short of that, like no radio, a steering wheel and a shifter for like transportation.
I think there's a market for it. And your trucks, your Legend trucks, I think hint at that. You're giving them, modern drivetrain. I'm sure there's a ton of sound deadening in it and a vintage air system for their air conditioning, but it's still a truck.
100%.
They can work on it themselves. They can change the oil. They can, diagnose any issues with a simple ODB2 or whatever it is. And
there was a lot of years of deliberating and back and forth on opposite ends of the spectrum about the Legends truck and what it should and could and be, from, trying to take it to, Jeremy, rightfully so, trying to take it to like what that demo, what your proposed demographic probably would be in the, when you start with the trying to nail the ride quality and the NVH and stuff like that to what their baseline is, whether it be, a G-Wagon or a new Chevy truck or something like that, then the natural progression is, well, if they like those things, then they probably need maybe an infotainment like this, and maybe they did this stuff. But rightfully so, there was a departure.
Yeah. Selfishly, I built that for me because that's exactly what I wanted. I just wanted to cut all the bullshit and be able to get into something. I want it to look cool. Square body trucks look cool. It's the quintessential truck. I just don't want any of the bullshit. I want AC because I don't want to sweat my ass off. And you get in, you got a couple sliders on the dash, and you got a volume knob and a column shift. That's all I need. It's like some people it totally appeals to, and they get it. And I'm happy with it because I love it, and I drive the shit out of it. And every time I drive it, it reminds me how much more I like it than a new truck. But then it's like split right down the middle because you've got like the other camp that's like, oh, it's not a solid axle front end and your IFS is shit. You're not mudding with no IFS or it's not for the working man. It ain't no work truck. Like, well, dude, we just posted a video recently on a Blazer version of it, and people are saying that same thing. You're like, dude, how many guys are working
in their Denali?
Probably more so in their Denali than they are in their square body, solid axle Blazer. What type of work are you doing that warrants going to work in said square body Blazer?
Right.
And they talk about this like bulletproof front. There is nothing bulletproof about this. I hate the fantasy of this old American iron, and this thing is like a fucking tank.
Right.
It is not, dude.
Well, I don't.
It's just you can fix it.
Yeah, you can fix it.
Is the difference. Right. But you're still going to have to fix it.
I
more.
Think
More.
Right.
I think the thing that we, kind of collectively all came to conclusion is you're always going to have that side of things, right? Of the guy that's like, oh, it's too much money and give me a carburetor so I can work on it, with my eyes closed, and I don't want a straight axle and stuff like that. And that's fine. They're enthusiastic about their subset of that side. That's not who we're building it for.
Right, exactly.
And no offense, most of those guys, that's not the price point for them anyway, right? So say all the things you're going to say, justify whatever. Then there's the upper end, right? That's the guy that's like, well, where do I put my leather gloves? And, need a, it doesn't have a power retractable tailgate, it's also not for you.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't,
I tell you where you put your leather gloves.
right. Yeah. If you can't close that tailgate,
right.
then this truck's not for you.
Right.
Right. And it's the ones in the middle that are like, hell yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Sure.
The truck thing is, I mean, all little niches of the
trucks are very divisive.
Trucks are, man, trucks guys are.
Absolutely. And new trucks are too. I see it almost, I don't know what the price point is, but if it could be an alternative to a new fully loaded $100,000 Silverado or Denali or whatever it is, I could see a time in the not too distant future where that would be attractive to that customer.
Yep.
And they're not going to go mudding in their new Denali either.
Right.
Like, it's fine. It's just somebody that is tired of the screens, that wants to be able to work on it and maintain it themselves.
Yep.
And could use it as a daily driver. I mean, that would be awesome. I think that's a niche that's coming that our industry could fill. The stuff that Roger is doing with the Chevelles that we talked about. Is there a time when a customer of a new Camaro, well, not a new Camaro, they're dead now, but a new Mustang, which now
they're almost dead.
Yeah. Would they say, I would rather have that? And if it was reliable enough, priced to the point where, they could daily drive that thing.
Yep.
And the only way we could get there, because there's so much in building these cars, is to do some kind of like mass production or production run of them. That's the only way that I think
the only way to bring the price point.
Yeah. And I don't even know if that would be enough. This is all above my pay grade, but
yeah, that's the struggle with it, because there's a lot of guys that do a great job with it in the truck market. The Broncos, Velocity does a phenomenal job with it, and they do a super high volume. The volume has to multiply probably tenfold to be able to bring, if you want to bring that down to the point where all those guys commenting about like how this is just something for the rich man,
right.
And it becomes affordable, the volume has to grow exponentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but then when you start getting the volume to grow exponentially to that, then there's going to be corners that need to be cut. And things that you're going to be like, well, we don't need to do this, we don't need to do that. Then you're starting to lose the core.
Yeah.
I
think that's a very interesting topic, because across the board, I think Ferrari's experiencing it. You watch just look at Ferrari's like secondhand market. What's happening right now? Like, everybody became so disconnected with the brand because it's, they've made a few bad moves with some of the EV stuff and the stuff's gotten a little bit space shuttle-ish on the styling, and it's gotten so techy that now like everybody's pivoted, and their 488s and their 458s have gotten, just the numbers have gone through the roof, because that's what people want.
Yeah.
That's what their customer base is speaking.
Yeah.
And that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But they're still going a different direction. Like, why doesn't it? And it probably will. I wonder if there's a aha moment when everybody wakes the fuck up and realizes what we're making isn't what the customers want.
Yeah.
And they actually fulfill that need, because who better to do it than the damn OEs?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Where is that gated shifter? Right. That's iconic. That's what I would want if I was in the market for one of those cars, and you can't get. If there's one thing I've learned working in my time at the car companies, is that none of those decisions are an accident. At the end of the day, if they were making money, they would make that car.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about station wagons in the United States, but none of us that are talking about it bought them when,
No, it's usually the guys are like, oh, that's a cool station wagon. And then the wife's like, I'm not getting a station wagon. I'm like, no, but the RS6 is really cool. I'm not driving a station wagon.
Right. That one is badass.
It is badass.
But that's one of the few that are even left, and the car enthusiasts talk about all those things, but we never bought them when we had the chance. And these car companies, if people were putting their money where their mouth was, all those things would still exist. So
maybe we're the minority.
Yeah.
Look at the types of cars that are driving around on just your ride to work. Of course you're the minority.
Yeah.
Because there's so many just asexual, hey, I want a car in a non-offensive color. We have this light brown and then one that's shaped like a kidney bean. That would be great.
Yeah.
Can I fit 4 people in it?
Yeah.
Like it's just.
When I had kids, though, I learned the beauty of the minivan. I can't talk too much shit about this.
Oh, really?
I love them,
dude. I've rented some. I'm in a minivan. It has.
I could never get my wife to adopt.
It was the wife's car, not
yeah.
mine. But I love driving the thing, and when we all piled in it, it was the answer. I hate to say it. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, what could you do with a Previa?
Right.
Yeah,
The jelly bean.
Yeah, I mean, the underpinnings of that, it's essentially a supercar. Have you ever looked at the drivetrain?
Yeah, close.
It's mid-engine.
Yeah.
It is mid-engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But the other thing interesting, which, to sort of change directions here, is with as close to concept cars as these designs have gotten now in our industry, where does it go from there? How do you possibly, what is the next level, or what, is anybody coming to you with anything that's like, yeah, I saw that, but like we're looking to like take it to the next level? Where does it go?
I think it's hard to say, because I think the concept car thing, that what you're seeing when you say concept car is a refinement, a level of refinement. So the Aston Martin, we changed every surface on that car, but because it was done in CAD, because of the CAD modeler's skill on it, I don't want to toot my horn, but I had my own eyes on it. We had between the two of us, we had, probably 40 years in the industry looking at this thing. It gave it a certain level of refinement. And I think that's what you feel when you say concept car level. So I think as people learn how to use CAD properly and kind of avoid some of that leather-wrapped 2x4 interior feel that we were talking about, I think that will start to give these cars more of that refined kind of production or OE type of feel. As far as other trends in our industry, I think there will be maybe like a little bit of genre mixing. I get some customers coming to me with that, like
hope so,
wanting to do a 30s car that has more of a modern pro touring, or brake ducts and big brakes, and meant to turn instead of just cruise in a straight line. I think that's interesting, and it's been dabbled with before, but it's never been a mainstream thing. I would love to see someone build a muscle car that looks like a 60s, funny car, a CUDA with the wheelbase stretched and big Halibrands on it and big meats under the back slammed on the ground.
Cool.
I would like that in my own garage. I don't know if anybody else would.
I've seen Goodguys Missile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of hinted at it a
little
bit.
That thing was built.
Yeah.
It was built. and then rebuilt.
That's a little nugget for the old timers.
Fritz will pick up on that. You're welcome, Fritz. Yeah, that's a cool stuff.
But I think like just genre mixing.
Yep.
I think might be the next thing. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. We were talking about the hot rods, the traditional stuff. You haven't had a lot of them come through the shop. Yeah. What's going to happen with all of those cars? Selfishly, I hope the price goes down, because I would love to have a 32 3-window in the garage myself. But
that's where I'm at, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a 29 Model A, and me and my brother just picked up this bitchin' 30 Roadster that it's coming home here shortly. But I'm a sucker for badass traditional cars, and I don't you don't have the time to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you could still, those are cars that you can still definitely buy them way cheaper than what it costs to build them. But to your point, the market hasn't like crumbled. Like they're not fire selling them. I mean, they're still bringing decent money.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it'll go back to that.
Yeah.
I think that when you have stuff like The Rock and some other events, to where there's some more things to do with your traditional hot rod.
Yeah.
And it same thing with the Survivor style stuff, right? You had to build the thing and it kind of be a cool thing, because the hot rod and street rod had gotten so far out of fucking hand, right? That you couldn't show up with, your one traditional hot rod that, what are you going to do with it when everything's billet and everything's smooth and stuff like that? The industry kind of passed it by. I think with some more stuff to do in event-wise and stuff like that,
yeah,
that I think that they'll come back.
I like that. Like some stuff to get people to use their cars. Like I am over, getting to the show at 7 a.m. and setting up a chair so I can drink Miller Lite all day long and never leave the park. I mean, sometimes it's fun.
Every once in a while,
but the rock event where they do the road tour, I think all of that is the future, finding ways to get people to use the cars, and people enjoy it. Wheel Hub did that with their event. That was a great event that they have where they do the road tour, and you're never stationary. You're using the cars.
Oh, great segue right here. Coming in, you got 2 big Good Guys events coming up, right? And I think I like these 2 Good Guys events so much because you're doing stuff with the cars. Des Moines coming up, 4th of July weekend. That is actually, so I can read, July 3rd through 5th, Des Moines Fairgrounds. Great show. Shit ton of cruising all day, all night. They got a fireworks show. And then Columbus as well. Columbus, that's the 28th Summit Racing Nationals, July 10th through 12th at the Ohio Expo Center. Obviously, that's the one we do every year. And that is where we and most other people get to do something with their car, right? So we do a little road tour down there. We're driving cars back to the hotel. You're hanging out in the cars in the hotel parking lot. You drink, you're having fun. Even there's all kinds of crazy car show stuff going on.
Yep.
The parking lot parties and hanging out with the cars it's a little more rare than a lot of other shows. Yeah. So that's definitely one to get out and cruise, hang out.
I've been going to Columbus since I was a little kid. Sometimes it was for the Street Rod Nationals. Remember when that was at Columbus before it moved to Louisville? But
way back in the day.
Yeah, I never missed the Good Guys show at Columbus.
That is a great one. They've moved. Am I right? They moved the host hotel this year.
Yes, it's a different place.
Good.
Yeah. It's getting a little.
We've moved the party. Yeah.
Where is it now?
Yeah, it's where it's at.
It's a new place.
Okay. This is where we do a little editing.
Yeah, this is where we take a break.
Take out So yes, Good Guys Columbus. They have moved the host hotel. We are now at the Doubletree.
It's Doubletree
in Dublin.
Okay.
The Doubletree in Dublin is the new host. That's where everybody's going to be at for the party.
Is the Doubletree? Is that the one with the steakhouse in front of it?
This is in Dublin.
In Dublin.
Yep. This is Doubletree.
In Dublin,
right there in the heart of Dublin.
Google it.
That's as much as I know. I'll tell you the address right now. I got the address. It's 600 Metro Place North.
Okay.
Yeah, they are sold out, but there's 3 or 4 other hotels right there around it.
That's the place to be.
Yeah, Cousin Mikey couldn't get one at our place.
This is as important as knowing that there is a Good Guys show in Columbus because let's be honest, the show is phenomenal.
Yep. If you don't know where the party's at,
it's the after party.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's where you rub elbows with all your buddies, with your peers. It's the place to be. You see the cars in action.
Yep.
You get to see stuff moving.
Yeah. We're gonna bring some cool things down there. Maybe not vehicle stuff. Like we're gonna bring some cool vehicles, but I'm talking about in the parking lot party. We might bring some. If you're not at the party, you'll miss out on some potential surprises.
The ring's going this year?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
We got it. We got a final schedule of the Ring's second podcast. We're going up there to see them.
The first one was pretty entertaining.
Well, we had fun.
They have good stories.
The best stories.
Jim has some really good ones.
That was not our fault. No. We didn't force them to drink near what they drank.
No.
We got the blame for it, but it was not our fault.
Yeah, Nancy was not happy.
She was mad.
But round two is going to be great. We're working on going up to Jim's farm.
Oh, awesome!
We're doing it.
Do it there.
It's happening in the next couple of months.
Yeah,
it's happening.
That'll be excellent.
Yeah, Nancy's just got to text me back.
Well, this is her call to action.
Yeah, I'm gonna start
Nancy.
I'm gonna start texting it like odd times, like 12:30.
Text her now.
Hey,
text now. See if
just thinking about you.
Hey,
we're gonna do this.
Text her now and say, "Hey, we've got Gary Ragle here. We've got this awesome project we're looking to get started on with him."
Yeah.
Mike, what do you think? Would you recommend him?
Mike will be calling you.
Yeah, I'll get a call right now. It'd be just, it'll come from some random 608 number because it's Mike's, flip phone. I don't think it doesn't, doesn't pop up as Mike Ring.
He does have an iPhone.
Does he now?
Yes.
When did he get that?
Maybe a year ago.
That's like an iPhone 1.
maybe. Yeah. He doesn't text or anything.
No. Yeah. Huh. You seeing if you can get a response?
Yeah. Oh, what I texted will get a response.
Share it.
I said, "Hey, we have Gary on the. Hey, we have Gary Ragle on the podcast. We're thinking of hiring him full time. Is that cool?" Actually, I misspelled a lot of words in there too. Damn.
They're a lot of fun. I stayed with them. They let me stay with them at the house in Carmel for about a week while we were there for the quail. And
They let you stay up past their normal bedtime?
Yeah. They were getting it pretty good. So they're a lot of fun. The whole family and the crew and Ryan and
Yeah, we we joke around a lot between them all, but great families, great kids.
They're good people.
Yeah, awesome people, man.
Yeah. You got to joke with them though.
That's how
humble.
That's how you know. That's how you know good people is when.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anytime you have to like watch what you're going to say around somebody, that makes me judge that person.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
You know.
Yeah.
It's like So that's going to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
So now I know what I need to know about him. All right, we're getting into a couple of. We're going to get a couple of things. I'm going to ask some questions related to everything we've talked about. Then we're going to get into standard questions. But what's the hardest on our industry aftermarket hot rod build side? What's the project that came to you that gave you the most pause that you had to think about the most?
That's
for whatever reason.
That's a good one. Oh boy. You know, I hate to keep going back to it, but Mike's Woody was really,
because of
the concept. I didn't know Mike that well, and
that was also like one of the bigger ones for your forte in the industry.
Yeah. Thank God at that point I was saying yes to everything, so I wasn't going to say no. But
you're supposed to jump the shark later on in the career,
right? Exactly. It's probably coming. But that one gave me a little bit of pause just because the idea. But I can't really think of any others. Like I said, the cars always fall into two camps. It's either a beloved vehicle and you have to really think about what to change and what to do, or it's an ugly duckling that you have a lot of freedom with and it presents its own challenges. There have been some customers that I've had to research a little bit and decide whether I want to work for them and whether it's a good fit or not. And I'm trying to do that more and more now, like rather than, there's a period of time when you start your business, you take anything that comes through the door. Yep. And now I'm trying to kind of pick the ones that fit me and what I can do the best and try to pick the ones that are more than just a rendering in a color with these wheels on it. Like I would rather do fewer, more in-depth design projects than 100 renderings for different people. So I'm kind of trying to tailor things that way. So I guess to answer your question, that's kind of what's given me the most pause is
knowing when to say no
and picking the right projects for where I want my business to go.
What project have you done that you can think back about right now that right when they're going through hey, I'm thinking about doing this, this, and this, you've got the majority of it in your mind instantly? Like, what's the thing that's popped in your mind? Like, I know exactly what we're doing.
Honestly, that thing that I said before where my pencil is smarter than my brain, that is 100% true. Like, there's a lot of designers that see it in their mind and then execute it, and I am not like that at all. Like,
really?
Yeah, I'm...
Your hands
you
just
start
from your head?
Yeah, there's nothing up here. My hand is smarter than my brain is, and I will just start sketching. And
I would have never guessed that.
And see what sticks. Yeah, 100% honest.
That's cool.
There's very few like preconceived notions or ideas or anything in my mind.
That's really,
I will
really
just
cool.
Start sketching the car, and I think it comes from just repetition and doing it so much. Like when I'm I still sketch pencil and paper because I think that's really important. I'll do the renderings in Photoshop just because it's easier to change colors for the customer or make changes. But everything starts with a pencil sketch on paper, so my hand kind of knows what should be happening much more than my brain does.
That's wild. Yeah. No, it's good. It's great. Yeah. It's just it's so surprising. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Especially from what we've seen like put on paper and the designs that have come up there. Like it couldn't have been. I would have never guessed that. Yeah. You give me 100 guesses, I would have never guessed that because it seems like these are all different ideas or formulate. It doesn't seem like you're, figuring it out along the way.
Yeah. I'd love to watch the evolution of one of these cars. I'm so fascinated about it because honestly, I'm envious of it. It's like a skill set I wish I had that I don't. But it would be so cool to see that in action. Like, is it a particular profile? Is it something you're drawing the roof line and like a particular arc or a modification to it as you're drawing it that you're like, and then things start falling into place? Or
I start every sketch because we're basing this off an existing car. I will find a photo, or if I have a 3D scan of the car, usually it starts with a profile view, a side view, and I'll trace the photo.
Okay.
And then I will throw that photo away, and I will start like doing overlay on top of overlay, like allowing my hand to do its thing and start to fix like all the weirdness that car had from the factory. So everything starts with a photo, and that way I'll be able to tell the customer like, okay, I moved it, I laid that A-pillar back this much, chopped the top that this much, moved the wheelbase this much. So there's a reference there. It's based in reality, and I can tell the customer what changes I made. It's not just winging it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just it's a time-consuming process because it's just an overlay on top of overlay on top of overlay, kind of feeling what this thing wants to be. They'll tell you what they want at a certain point. Once you dig into them, the car will start to tell you what it wants and what it should be.
What point does it move from a sketch to Photoshop? How far do you take it before it goes to Photoshop?
Once I'm convinced that all those big moves are good, I'll scan that sketch in and then kind of do the rendering in Photoshop or do some shading if it's more of a simple like sketch rendering or something. But it's once I'm convinced that the proportions and all the big moves are correct. I really don't. I use Photoshop only to execute. I don't use it to design so much. So I'm not sketching in that or changing anything. If I want to make a change to a hood or something, I will go back to the drawing table and physically draw it and then scan it back in and render it in Photoshop.
Dude, I would love to see, and I'm just going to throw this idea out there for you. Take it if you want. Selfishly, I want to see it. You should set up a GoPro camera and do a time lapse, and obviously accelerate that because I don't want to sit there for fucking 4 hours and watch erasing shit and shading. I just want to see.
You don't have the attention span for that.
No, give me
4 seconds.
No, I can take it longer than that. But that would be so cool to see.
It would be
in one view the evolution of the car design.
I do need to do that for sure.
That would be so bitchin'.
Yeah.
You want me to make it? I'm going to make it an admission right here. And it's probably because I've had a little bit too much of this Japanese whiskey. The thing I'm going to sound so fucking stupid, but I don't care. I'm being honest right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's the only reason we do this shit. It's really just dawned on me right now with all the designers we've talked to, and as long as we've been in this, I've never really put two and two together about the difficulty of the design process and putting that together and then cataloging the changes to be able to tell them what the changes are. I've never put that part of it, right? I've always just looked at like it's work in progress, we're talking about, but as you're, like you said, your hands doing things, you get into the flow and the groove and you're just making it cool.
Right.
I know that's like you'd be hung up in making it cool.
Eric Black does a good job of like he usually shows.
Well,
sort
yes,
of like, if you'd quit being such an asshole to him on this podcast, he might share that with you. You know, but since you're always fucking with him, you know?
What I'm saying is in the artistic process. I mean, everybody does it their different way, but then as you're doing that, having the mindset of cataloging, whether it's making the notes or like you said, you know, doing the scale of like, well, this is one to, you know, whatever, and then I've leaned the windshield post back and trying to document that versus like making the thing look badass and then be like, oh, see, all right, now you go figure that out. Yeah. Like, it's just really dawned on me the amount of having to, and everybody does it to varying degrees, but just that part of the equation in our world, you know, of having to give some of the bullet points of like, the windshield's laid back this much, we channeled it this much, and figuring out the scale.
I suppose when you talked about like sort of vetting customers and working directly mostly with the shops, you know, you get to a point with some of the shops that you sort of jive and you probably sort of click and they just, you know, they get it, right? You know, you look at the rendering and that's probably not the guy that's going to take his tape measure out and start trying to scale something or be questioning. We run into this a lot, and we have years ago, like, and me and Chris joke about it sometimes too, because some people can't see like the shading or like the shadows on the side of a car. Like some people will look at it, like to me, like even look at the picture behind you, like those are clearly shadows on the side of that quarter panel, like over your shoulder. And some people are like, so is that like, are we gonna like airbrush that graphic?
Is that a graphic?
Like,
really?
Dude, it's the fucking shadows of, what do you not get? And other people will take, you know, a tape measure and start like, it's like we didn't change the car, but they're like, I think it's chopped, and they're like measuring, you're like, and trying to scale it or drawing a grid on it. Like, dude, it's rendering.
Yeah. That's tough. Over time, my work has become tighter and tighter and tighter, and it goes back to what we were talking about before. Like the customer doesn't care about a rendering; they want a car. We're all working together to build a car. So I used to, early in my career, I tried to make everything real artsy and cool, and, you know, was trying to impress other designers with the work. And now it's more of a means to an end. It's to communicate what the car looks like in order to build it for the customer who will drive it and enjoy it. So that's caught me out a few times where I would do some creative shading or something, and you know, the builder would go ahead and make like an undercut or do something there, and I'm like, whoa, shit. He's like, I did what you had on the sketch. That was super cool. You know?
It looks good.
That was a palm tree in the background.
So a lot of that.
Laser cut it out.
That's a interesting topic though, because the fabrication, like the hot rod industry has changed tremendously because it was much that way too. Fabricators and shops were building things for a long time, more to impress and get acceptance from their peers than they were for the customer. And it's a different animal, like different budget. You know, you're saving time, you're saving money when you're building, when you're doing things fabrication wise, focused on completing the car. Because it's not about the fabrication, it's about driving the car. And it's not about the picture, it's not about the rendering, it's about the finished car.
I think you can if you did a timeline and tracked everybody's arc, you could even visually tell from the outside looking in when everybody had that aha moment. When it's like, I don't give a fuck if they like me.
Right. Exactly.
I will say I found the absolute.
Except I want Eric Black to like me.
Keep talking shit. See ya.
If you quit fucking faking a cowboy, I'd fucking quit talking.
Is that what it is?
Do you know Eric?
Yeah, no, I don't. I've never met Eric.
Dude, his
work is fantastic.
Next time you meet him, he's fully tattooed up, right? And tattoos, right? The words on his hands change every time you meet him. Like, yes, it's like an act. It's like cosplay. It's like,
he's just got Eric's got like a almost like a Jesse James presence of like a cool factor, you know. And Josh doesn't believe it's real.
Oh, gotcha.
He thinks
there's no way because he is like. Remember, I said there's no free ride, right? Everybody got to pay the tax. He is super badass. He's into everything that's cool. He's amazingly talented. he's seemingly super fucking nice, although I'm going to push the boundaries and see if Eric punches me in the face, and I know where
you'll know if those tattoos were fake. If there's
they come off.
There's, I just can't handle somebody having all those positives. You know.
Yeah.
So that, my own personal insecurities won't allow that. I've got to tear it down.
Didn't you say it's like maybe he's got web feet or something? Did you bring that?
That was what I said. That's Adam Banks.
Oh,
Adam Banks.
Yeah, Adam.
But even then he turns around and is like, yeah, I can swim. No, I don't know. I really don't know exactly what it is with Eric. We're going to find it one day. But yeah, I give him a lot of shit because
that's funny. You got to.
Yeah.
He's super fucking talented. And he's cool. And there's not a thing short of that one Mustang that he's done. And I always give him shit about that.
Which is that?
He did that. The newer modern Mustang for Hollywood Hot Rods had the lift off black roof or whatever. He did the rendering for
like
that.
A SEMA car.
Yeah, it was some
car.
kind of movie I think too or whatever. But Eric's cool. Sometimes people get brought up and get a lot of shit on this podcast, and that's just it is what it is. You know?
Only when we like him.
So,
yeah, of course.
Saw a great whatever they call a little meme or a video or something like that the other day on, and if nobody's talking shit about you, that means you're inconsequential.
Yeah.
So. And that doesn't mean if we haven't talked shit about you, you're inconsequential. But I'm just saying,
your time will come.
Your time will come.
We'll get to you.
No, I mean, you fly that close to the sun, you're bound to get burned. You know, it can't be that good. Can't be. You got to pay the toll.
Yep.
Standard questions. Standard questions are brought to you by Goodguys Rod and Custom. So you're going to be down in Columbus.
Yep, I'll be there.
All right.
It's up for me.
Parking lot.
Up in Columbus.
Up.
And it's over for us.
It's over for us.
Over and down.
It's still down.
Yeah.
All right. So, first up, we'll just go first car. We're just going to go straight out to it. What year? Don't tell us the first car yet.
Okay.
But what year did you graduate high school?
97.
Ooh. We're same age.
Are we?
Yeah.
Midwest, that's kind of Cincinnati's borderline.
Cincinnati. We're right across the river from Kentucky, so
it's
be
like
careful.
It's northern Kentucky, western Virginia, eastern Illinois.
Right. You're not far from Lexington, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
not far.
So it's almost south. It's almost like considered the South. Which makes it that takes it out of my little pocket.
I'm glad. We've had a lot of them out of my pocket in the last couple of episodes. So you started driving. You got your license in 95 then?
Yep.
Was your first vehicle a gift or did you purchase it?
It was a gift.
Okay.
Hand me down within the family?
Yes.
What did your dad do for a living?
He was a machinist for Ford at a Ford transmission plant in Cincinnati.
Key.
Yeah.
It's a key little.
It is.
Key little tidbit. Okay. Hand me down in the family.
Is your dad a car guy?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. He got me into it.
It's OBS Ford pickup. I'm going OBS Ford pickup. That would be 89, 86 to 89.
Yeah.
Gray with maroon interior.
It had to be something that was enough to spark an interest in cars. That probably wouldn't have done it. But I don't think it was great. It's usually not, I don't think it was like a fastback Mustang, I'm not thinking that. So the next best thing,
Ranger Splash.
No, I'm thinking it was a Maverick. Yeah, I think it was a Maverick, and it was like
I think this was transportation, not in anything enthusiast based.
Well, is a Maverick enthusiast
It's more than
the one Jesse built? Like, is it enthusiast based?
No, probably not.
Transportation.
It's transportation. You're probably right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Go ahead.
In the dark.
You're close, but you're off a little bit. It was a 78 Econoline van, full-size van.
Long wheel, like full wheelbase or shorty?
Shorty.
Oh, shit.
So my dad was really into riding dirt bikes, so he would use this thing to haul dirt bikes. In 1978, it was primered black, had ground effects on it because he was also a product of the van era of the 70s.
These are all key pieces of information that were left out.
It's pretty fucking cool.
This was a hand-me-down, all primered black, no windows in it. It had like the Vector wheels, like from the Dukes of Hazzard Charger on it. Yeah. It was pretty bitchin'.
Still chrome up front on the grill and shit, or was it?
He
all black?
He had to replace the quarter panel on it, so he just DP90'd the entire thing.
Okay. Isn't the quarter panel like half the car?
Yeah, it is. I guess on a van, it's the entire body side.
That's cool.
Yeah. So the interior there was no interior. It was all plywood.
Yeah.
4 captain's chairs because he hauled car parts and dirt bikes in it. So that's what I
super cool with your buddies.
That's what I drove to high school. Super cool with my buddies.
How did the parents of
the
any girl that
girls
you
were maybe a little?
It was the molester van, and everyone was told to stay away from that fucking guy.
That's right. Yeah.
Pretty cool, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I love vans. I actually really dig them, and especially that era, the shorty. Me and my son rides dirt bikes, and we were both dead set. You know, he's been searching, I've been searching. We've been trying to find one just like it.
Yeah.
Just to go to the track. He broke his damn leg at the beginning of the season this year, so we haven't been to the track. Otherwise, we'd have probably been in a van by now. Because there is a convenience.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You roll that bike right in the back. It's so easy.
Yep.
Yeah. Dump that mixed gas over on the way home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
302.
Was not expecting
302 C4?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a tough one to guess.
Yeah. Dude, that definitely, from a cool factor, that brings you up, like, you and Eric.
Eric Black, he wasn't bombing around in no van.
No.
Most of the kids in my high school were not into cars, so it was kind of it wasn't
a cool thing.
Yeah, it wasn't very cool to them. I thought it was cool. Yeah. Sounded good. Had Flowmasters on it. Cops gave me a lot of trouble in it.
It looks like trouble.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, next question, perfect segue. Your most memorable law enforcement interaction story.
So it was in college. I went to University of Cincinnati in their industrial design program, and we had a studio that was sponsored by General Motors. So we would have weekly video conferences with GM designers, and they would review our sketches. It was a pretty cool deal. So this was junior year, right towards the end of the term. Design school's pretty intense. It's time intensive. You're up doing all-nighters and everything else. So I was in there with my buddies working in the studio. I think it was 2 days before the final critique, and all of these guys from GM were coming down to review our work. It was a big deal for me because I wanted to go work for them. And for some reason, the campus locked the door. There was 2 doors in our studio, and they only left one open for us, and they locked one of them, and that was our access to the restroom. The only other way was to go out into the hallway, and it was a super long way around. And the restroom was right there. And I have really sweaty hands, and this wasn't before Photoshop, all marker rendering and pastels and air marker and all that. So I had to wash my hands like every 2 minutes while I'm doing my rendering so I don't sweat all over it. So I'd want to go to the restroom just to wash my hands. And my buddy and I decided that this door was not going to work for us anymore after a couple nights. So we took the pins out of the hinges and took the door off to give ourselves access to the restroom. And I finished the night, finished my renderings and went home. I was working on my model at home because my dad had set up a spray booth for me, and all the kids at school were just using spray bomb, and I was at home with automotive paint and, doing this thing.
Seems fixed to be slick.
Doing this thing right.
Yeah.
So I was at home working on my model, and after being up all night at the studio sketching, and one of my buddies called me. He was like, "Gary, the fuck did you and Drew do last night in the studio? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, the campus security came in and arrested him, put him in cuffs, and drug him off. Did you guys do something with the door? And I was just like, oh, shit. You know? Yeah, I might have.
Actually, come to think of it.
So it turns out they had a video camera set up on us that we didn't know about, pointed at that door. I don't know what the problem was with this door and why they did that, but I went and turned myself in to campus security. It ended up being a big thing. Had to get a lawyer involved and everything else. Yeah.
You didn't steal anything. You didn't do anything.
Didn't steal anything. We were two of the better students. You know, we were just in there trying.
It could be returned back to normal. You put the hinges back in it. Right. Put the pins back in it.
So I turned myself in, and kind of my parents kind of helped work through this whole thing. But like I said, this was 2 days before, now 1 day before GM coming down. All of those guys heard about it. You know, I thought, oh shit, this just ended my career.
Yeah.
I'm done before I even started. They thought it was funny because they were just all recent grads that were working with us and everything. They thought it was pretty funny.
It shows ingenuity.
But yeah, exactly. And I taught a couple classes at that school just up to maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. I would occasionally teach a class, and those kids there still know that story.
Really?
About that. And one of them was telling me the story at one point. Like, did you ever hear about this guy that got arrested and took the door off?
Really?
And I was like, yeah, I heard.
You're talking to him.
You're talking to him. And I was instantly the coolest professor that they had. But
that's great.
Yeah.
That reminds me. You ever seen the movie Radio Flyer?
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yeah.
And they're talking about, there's the guy, the older dude, I mean, he was like in his 20s. He was the guy that attempted the jump or something before, and he's working at the gas station. He's limping, and the kids are talking about this legend. And then he, like, you know, I forget how they found out it was him, but it's similar. Yeah. Deep pull.
They did not want their door fucked with.
No.
Wow.
I still don't understand what the issue was. But I mean, it was really it was to the point where every minute counted. You know, we were up all night. You know,
down to the wire. You didn't have time to deal with that.
2 or 3 all-nighters in a row, and we needed access to that restroom.
Right, so it's a lesson in resourcefulness and perseverance. No matter how, if you want it, go get it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
even if you got to knock the fucking pins out of the hinges.
Right.
Maybe just put them back.
Yeah,
probably should have.
Yeah. All right. Next up. You've got a PCH trip.
This is a good guy's question, right?
This is a good guy's question. This is one of the good guys submitted questions. You're going to do the tour of the whole Pacific Coast Highway in some bitchin' ass car. What's the car, and what's the CD that's stuck in the CD player for the full trip?
I can tell you the CD right off the bat. I'm a child of the 90s. My favorite band is 311.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So
got to be something with a system then, because that's one CD hit.
Yeah. That actually happened to me spring break, my buddies and I, senior year. The CD player in the car was broken. I just had a boombox and one CD with me. It was 311 Music was the particular one. So I'd just do that on repeat because I've done it. It's no problem. In the car on PCH, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably a 32 Roadster. I mean,
yep.
I usually like a coupe.
Yeah.
But if we're on PCH,
I'm just telling you, that's a great answer. However, the 32 Roadster that's got a CD player
that's kind of weird.
That's a goofy one.
It would be hidden.
It would be. That's the Alpine changer in the back, right? The old Boyd build.
Yeah. Or like we did, we mounted the head unit in the back and put the optical eye.
Hit it with the remote.
The thing didn't work worth a shit.
Under the seat.
What's the song, 311? Because I'm a 311 fan. Phil, I wish Phil was here for that.
Yeah.
He's a massive 311
Is he like 311?
Yeah.
Probably the fuck the bullshit. It's time to throw down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still haven't progressed past like the late 90s in my musical taste.
Yeah.
It's, all Alice in Chains and
late 90s. I don't think any of us had a clue how epic that our generation had it. Like, I mean, it's honestly, it sort of dunks on like even a lot of the great classic rock stuff. I mean, we had some amazing fucking artists.
Yeah. Does everyone think that as they get older, though? That's what I wondered, because I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't know, because think it like, like 60s and early 70s, great. It like through the 70s, the mid 70s and into the even into the 80s. It's Cyndi Lauper. You had some some banger stuff that was
Poison, Guns N' Roses.
Well, but that like early 80s.
Def Leppard.
What was in the early 80s? I mean, you had a cool punk scene. You had some interesting stuff, but no, I don't think so. I mean, I think there's been a few. Like you had, 50s. There was some killer shit back, and then you had classic rock era. Grunge era was probably rivaled that.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think now, from the, what would you look back at 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and then you would say that the early 2000s brought?
Yeah.
Like, I struggle to think, rock and roll wise or anything that...
Britney Spears.
Yeah,
Miley Cyrus.
I mean, the White Stripes are maybe the only, notable talent from a, sort of rock standpoint.
Justin Timberlake.
He's skilled. I don't know that I won't look back at it and be like, oh man, JT.
No,
remember those days.
Dude can sing, man.
He's got a voice. Yeah.
He's got a voice. Tell you what, Miley just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, Josh has a thing for.
Oh yeah,
Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, past
on an unhealthy level.
Yeah,
she's just got it's the Janis Joplin of our generation.
Yeah,
and I think there's something cool about that. And she's still alive.
Yeah.
But I liked Amy Winehouse, too. I like... here's a little something about me. I don't like listening to women musicians that much. But if I...
chauvinist Josh.
if I do, I want them to be raspy, dirty blues.
Yeah.
Like, I like raspy, dirty blues. And
a little troubled, maybe?
That's a
heavily
goes along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That goes more not really just listening to that just goes more in my taste of women.
That's
anyway.
why you like Sierra Farrell.
I love Sierra Farrell
because there's that element of
that new one, that
trouble.
Kells. Have you seen that new girl? It's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
But that's the same. That's what you like, dude. You're because that looks like a train wreck, and that's why you like it.
Yes,
that's the one singing in the desert in front of the.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does a Reba cover and some other stuff.
Yeah, she's good.
She's really good.
I just came across on YouTube.
She was in Chicago Wednesday night. We couldn't go. But yeah, I do have a type. I also like Christina Aguilera over Britney Spears because she was the dirty one, had troubles. Mm-hmm. Anyway, as we digress,
more Joshisms there.
Any good podcast takes its turn.
That's how these things go.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, next up, this is one I think we're all super interested in. This is a really good question, and your specific skill set. I'm interested in hearing this answer. So, unlimited budget. You're going to have somebody build you a vehicle. You're not building it yourself. You're having somebody build it.
Let me throw another element into this.
I was going to go there. Okay. Go ahead.
Well,
go.
You can't design it.
That's where I was going to. Who's building it? Who's designing it? You can also pick a dream team if you want to. And what's the build? Unlimited, absolutely unlimited
budget. It would be a trophy truck or some kind of extreme luxury pre-runner or something.
Okay.
Cool.
Probably won't get a lot of use out of that in Ohio, but that's okay. That's what I would want. I would want a vintage body on it, a C10 maybe or something like that, but done to a level that maybe nobody has done one of those trucks before. The
luxury level?
Not necessarily that design level.
Oh, okay.
So now you're throwing me off because I'll pick somebody to do it.
So you're not just widening the fenders to stuff the tire in it. Like it's
right. I don't want a
style.
race truck. I want it to be like refined but be like a pure race truck underneath and have all of that hardware and.
Could it be the Rambo? Could it be the Lamborghini?
This is his.
No.
This is
LP
his.
1000.
No, those are cool.
Yeah, this is his.
Those are cool.
This is
I know.
Josh's.
I'm just trying to see if we could come together. Then
you can hire him to design that for you, for your dream build.
I just thought maybe we were clicking.
Okay,
I'd do that.
Yeah.
No, I think vintage American truck, probably like a C10, like I said. Man, a designer for it. You know, do you guys know Mike Desmond?
The name rings a bell.
Mike, I worked with Mike at Mitsubishi, but he designed Chicane
Okay,
that
maybe
Troy
that's
built.
yeah.
And he's done a lot of hot rod stuff. But Mike would be hands down the designer for it. Mike's an incredible artist. He's I don't have any tattoos. If I ever did, I would get Mike to do it. He taught himself to tattoo on himself.
Really?
Yeah.
Pull it.
Yeah. All right.
The name definitely rings a bell,
Yeah.
but I can't put a face to the name.
So his tattoos are real.
They're bitching.
That's fucking cool.
I don't think he didn't do all of his, but I know he taught himself to. Before we were talking about how there's, there you go.
Oh yeah, we're following Wargasser machine. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
That's Mike.
Yeah,
I just know him by his Instagram handle.
right.
So those are his oil paintings there with
Yeah,
the chopper
shit's
and
fucking
that
amazing.
radial engine. He worked for Jesse James for a while. He left Mitsubishi to go to work for Jesse.
Okay, that's killer. Pure hell.
Holy shit! Yeah. Yes, I know exactly this Instagram page. I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling down. Ah, there's a little off-roady stuff.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. So Chevrolet or Ford?
Probably Chevy.
Okay.
Yeah. C10. Yeah, there's some of the early work for Chicane. So he was a senior level designer when I started at Mitsubishi, and he was kind of my mentor for
Oh yeah.
a certain amount of time and helped me with a lot of stuff. He always had I thought, a wonderful quality to his design work. The cars just looked planted and solid and just had a badass kind of look to them that I always tried to emulate.
I want that across my back. That'd be a great tattoo.
Yeah, sketches are beautiful.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some West Coast chopper stuff up there.
Yeah, he did that other pre-runner for. Man, that's good pull. Good pull.
Yeah.
Who's building it though?
Yeah, who's building it?
I mean, probably like a Kibby Tech or somebody like that does the trophy trucks. I don't know all the ins and outs. I just know I love those things. Like they are, if I hit the lotto tomorrow, I would go race Baja, skip right to the trophy truck class if you could do that and race those trucks. I just think they are the coolest machines.
I want one for street use. I don't want to do Baja. I want one for street use.
Yeah. Those do take lotto money. I mean, there's some work that goes into those. You follow Morgan Clark, you know? You seen that Range Rover he's been doing?
Bitchin'.
Thing's nuts.
He'd be the right guy to blend like refinement, you know? There's a lot of guys do very race, like utilitarian. It's just like it's a trophy truck.
I think it would be neat to do one where things were designed.
Yeah.
You know, all the control arms were billet, and I mean, you guys did that with the Colorado, right? I mean,
yeah, we did.
I still remember that thing. I thought that truck was awesome.
Thanks, man. That was a fun build.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, we used it a little bit. Tore up the desert a little bit.
Did you?
It. Yeah, right after SEMA.
Was that for a customer? Or?
No, that was one of those dollar car deals. And then we just
wow.
Yeah, I got like way carried away with it. You know.
Yeah, you're just supposed to put wheels and paint job on those.
Yeah, me and Phil did not see eye to eye on that one.
Really?
I didn't consult with him. Sort of had a vision of what I wanted to do with it, and then went after it.
Is Phil the business side?
Yeah, you know, he might. I don't know, voice of reason.
Yeah. Okay.
But shit, we did that thing start to finish. I want to say in like 2 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You probably learned a lot though.
Learned a tremendous
to feed
amount.
into the off-road chassis.
Yeah, and that's why you've got to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
We really did. I mean,
Yeah.
I learned a ton about, you know, and we experimented with a lot of new vendors, a lot of new parts, and
yeah,
that was really eye-opening. And yeah, I learned a shit ton.
Yeah.
Building
No, that was a neat truck.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Like where your
Good idea.
head's at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Favorite car, another one by Goodguys, but you can answer however you'd like. Your favorite car, show, or event?
It's honestly, it's gone downhill a little bit, but in the past, maybe 10 years ago, the Hot Rod reunion at Bowling Green.
Beach Bend.
Yes. I just went last weekend, and it's not like a lot of these shows. It's not quite what it used to be, unfortunately. But in the heyday, I loved it, man. The Cackle Fest when it was all over, the mix of drags and a pretty decent car show. Like, and because I'm partial to the '60s drag stuff, that one was right up my alley. I loved it.
You know how I know we're getting old?
How's that?
Anytime,
By the way you look.
anytime we say it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy.
But wait, that's what it is. This is not what it used to be. The music's not what it used to be. These cars are not. That's how you know you're getting old.
Yeah.
When anything you talk about, if you talk about something and you say it's not what it used to be,
Yeah.
because it means you're old enough to remember what it used to be.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're right or wrong.
Yeah.
It means you're old.
And grumpier too. I find myself getting a little grumpy of.
Yeah, you get a little bit. I just don't think you care.
Less patience.
Yeah.
You don't care to sugarcoat your opinion as much as you get older.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah. That's an event I've always liked. Father's Day weekend, I always went with my old man, and this year I took my son and went with my dad, and that one was fun. I liked that one.
Hell back in the day, or hell, you had like pure hell there, and you had all kinds of crazy shit running.
Yeah.
Way back in the day.
What? Here's something that I don't understand, and I love the styling of 60s front engine dragsters. I'm in love with.
Oh, here we go.
The Cackle Fest thing, I do not understand it.
Really?
I mean, people raced those not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like, why do we not send it down the drag strip?
Because
it's a little dangerous. I mean, you see what guys are a lot dangerous.
right.
Drive the fucking thing, dude. Like what?
Yeah,
it's cool. Okay, let's fire it up. It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I want to see that fucker make at least an 8th mile pass.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they meet any of the NHRA safety.
So it's not their choice. It's NHRA's like you can't.
The roll cage, the roll hoops on them are all really low. Like if you look at the modern Nostalgia Top Fuel, the ones that they're running still,
they're not.
They don't look as good because the seating position is higher. It's not like a real slingshot where you're down in it, and it has more of a obtrusive cage on it, and the look, engine still in the front, it's all the same recipe, but the look is a little bit different. So I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing that's why.
So this is more of the sanctioning body that's not allowing them.
I think so. I don't.
They're like, I want to run this thing. You won't let me, so I'm just going to start it.
Yeah. And
You are making friends, buddy. I tell you what, you're out there making friends.
You think so?
Nope.
Well, if they all want to race it, then maybe I am. If they're like, this sucks, I want to run this car.
I'm sure some of those old timers
sure they
are
would.
like that, ready to go.
I'm sure they would.
And you know what would be cool is maybe just a quick burnout or a little dry hop or something, and
dry hop,
and then shut it off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you do it at they do events where they do the like pit road drags, where they do a 600 foot or something like that or whatever. Just let them blast off down through there.
It's awesome to hear it, to experience it, but it's so much work for them too to do that.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't want to drive it?
I was talking to one guy, and he said nitro is anywhere from $20 to $50 a gallon now.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, I don't know how many gallons.
3 or 4 gallons in a run.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, this fucking president, man, it's nitro. What they're charging per gallon for nitro?
I don't think we get our nitro from over there. just a guess. I could be wrong.
They do push start some of them, which is kind of cool, like that whole process. But yeah, I'm with you. They were made to run.
I mean, I love them. There's nothing in my eyes. There's nothing than a front engine dragster. Love that era of badass.
One year down there, I was drooling over one of them, and the old guy asked me if I wanted to sit in it, and I was like, shit, yeah, I've never sat in one before, and I started to crawl in. He showed me how to do it. And he's like, your legs go under the axle on this one. And I was like,
is he messing?
I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, they go under. I was like, well, my knees don't bend that way. How am I supposed to do that? And it was, I guess that's a thing.
Huh.
That was
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I
thought
got
it was
in there.
Legs over and chunk in between your legs.
Right. Legs under and chunk in between your legs just a little bit.
Have you ever been to, I was looking up my calendar to see, it was last weekend. Have you ever been to Indy Vintage Weekend?
The road races at the Speedway? Yeah. That's
a fun time.
That's a good one.
That's a fun time. Because when you were talking about front engine dragsters, I feel that way about 50s Indy cars.
I mean, equally as dangerous, if not more.
Yeah. But I like silhouettes and paint, like finishes. I mean, because they also made them like shiny and cool.
That's your like oval.
Yeah.
Grill.
Like all the Millers.
Yeah, the Miller. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
are hot rods, man. Those are straight up.
What's the one it's a mint blue and gold. I can't remember the livery name on it. It's a very famous car with the polished Halibrands on it, and that's like they made things like shinier than they had to for race cars too, because they're putting on a show. But you go there, and at that weekend you've got everything imaginable running. I mean, 80s NASCAR stuff, 40s and 50s IndyCar stuff, and all racing, Grand Am cars, GT cars, ARCA cars, it's like that. Right, it's really, really fun.
Trans Am cars,
all kinds of cool, and the pits are all open, so you're just walking through, looking at all this shit and seeing it. It's a really fun time. You'll see guys out there that were racing those, like they raced that exact car. Now he's 85 years old or whatever, and he still owns it. He comes out for this weekend. He's got his old white bib, overalls on and stuff like that. Pulls it himself and going to race. That's awesome. Fucking cool. Yeah. Really cool shit.
And the access to the speedway, like you can walk in and out of the pit stalls.
Come on, wherever you want to do.
Yeah, you can never do that there.
Yeah, it's a really fun time. Next up, all right. This is a new one. This one's not brought to you by Goodguys. I don't want to get them in trouble for this. This is completely by us. Goodguys is a great sponsor, but this idea right here came specifically. This is a brand new one. So, you're a music guy. Talked about listening to music, right? Very specific genre. So, we want you to pick a builder, a vehicle builder that is in this industry, and what would they be?
Oh, you're applying it that way for him.
How'd you want to do it?
Well, I mean, typically we have builders on here, so you would be inquiring with them as to what musician or what music group they would compare
themselves to.
Was the way I saw it.
Oh, I didn't see it that way.
Okay,
but that's fine. We can do it how this is.
So this came up. Look, this came up last podcast. We were talking about it, and I'm thinking, I'm like, what if you, as a car builder, what would you compare yourself and your cars to, music-wise? Right? We had
your style, musically.
So Josh thought that Rad Rides by Troy. He thought that Troy and Adam would be like Simon and Garfunkel, which they're it's a great group. I don't know if that was meant.
Very technical. No, very technical.
Yeah.
Technical group. Yeah. Technical.
We had John Wargo from the custom shop on. I thought he might I went ahead and offered up that I feel like his car builds, if they were a band, it would be Poison. I don't know if you're familiar with John Wargo and the custom
He said
shop.
Guns N' Roses.
And I was close.
Okay.
He
Real
thought
close.
Guns N' Roses.
Real
So
close. I get you. If your style, what musical act would most represent you?
The style of cars that I designed.
Right? Yeah, I guess it would be a little different since he's not a car builder, but as a car designer, your skill set, the way you draw a car, what your style is, what would that compare to as a music group?
Or even what you're into.
That's a good one.
This is a deep pull.
It is. All the cars I do, I try to make them badass and aggressive. Some may be more refined, some may be prettier or softer, but all of them are aggressive.
So Black Flag.
Hot rods at the core.
Henry Rollins and Black Flag.
Yeah. Oh.
It's probably the first Black Flag reference on this podcast ever.
Yeah.
Good band.
Man. I mean, is Metallica too mainstream?
It could be.
I think they had some in there that were kind of a little slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, the great guitar riffs.
Yeah.
No, it fits. I mean, like if you put a song, like a Metallica song, and start playing that in the background and watching, scrolling through,
it would hit.
Yeah,
that jives.
Not a deep one, but yeah.
No, it's good. It's not supposed to be deep. It's just it's telling. It's another way to get to know, the inner workings.
Yeah.
Josh was going to go with Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball. That's just
for me.
Yeah.
No. We're not doing ours yet.
No, not individually.
What would you think Eric Black's would be?
I think he would go with something like George Jones. It's great, It's not for everybody. It's great. And it's, when you look at, take classic, nostalgic hot rods, I think is what Eric shines at. And look at that like country music. George Jones is said to be the greatest, of all time. Vintage, nostalgic, traditional hot rods. An argument could be made that he's designed some of the best ones.
I see where you're going with that.
See
how
I'm putting that.
I would have went with Vince Gill.
You've told me behind the scenes.
Yep.
You've said some horrible things about Vince Gill.
But
Vince Gill's talented.
But he's got a voice.
And I've brought it up, and you have corrected me and let me know how
I've told you what
homosexual you think he is.
Told you what I think about when I see him.
Oh, you are. Man,
that was on purpose.
Yeah.
Nobody. You weren't supposed to say any of that. You were supposed to just laugh.
Okay, I was supposed to go and be like, oh, Vince Gill's the best, dude. He's got the voice of an angel. But I don't see how it correlates.
No, no bullshit aside, just because we've given Eric, he's as cowboy as they come, real deal. He had a great story. He told us exactly how he grew up and how he's gotten where he's gotten. Nobody's going to be Waylon, right? Nobody. Just like you can't never give a 10, 9 out of, it's always going to be a 9.8. Nobody gets a 10.
Sure.
There is no Waylon in my books. But he's as close as they come in that stylistic genre.
You're basically saying I was right. That's what you liked.
Yeah.
I like George Jones. Yeah. Okay. I like the possum. Last but not least, an oldie. We haven't gone to this one in a while. We gave it a little bit of a break. But what's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
So in a past life, when I was a little bit cooler, much younger, I'd raced jet skis.
Oh. Stand-ups?
No, I raced a Sea-Doo, but it was like a smaller one. Okay. It was called an HX. And it was kind of more of like a sport bike on the water, a narrow hull that you could lean over.
Okay.
And, but I was before car design. That was my life. Like last part of high school. That's what I did.
Huh.
And a buddy of mine that was, again, kind of a mentor figure. He was older at the time, but at that time there was a particular class that I was racing in, and the old man had the ski tuned perfect, and I was, winning a lot in that particular class. And he told me, he was like, if you go to the starting line knowing that you're going to win, you'll win.
Okay.
And it was kind of, you can apply it to a lot of things in life. It's kind of the positive thinking, the power of positive thought.
Yeah. Manifesting.
The key is you can't lie to yourself. So you have to really believe it.
I'm going to whoop this dude's ass.
Yeah. Right. But if you know you can do something and you truly believe it, you'll do it. So that's something that in design that's helped me a lot. If I sit down, and every creative person, every designer kind of goes through this emotional roller coaster. Yeah. It happens to me with every sketch I do, every rendering. There's a period in that rendering where I'm like, dude, I suck, man. I can't do this. What am I doing? Like, this is not turning out
like any artist,
the way I wanted. And then you'll add a little touch to it, and you'll come back out of that hump. And it's this constant kind of emotional roller coaster that you put yourself through. And kind of keeping that in mind, like, look, I know I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. It's going to turn out okay. Like, I know it's going to work.
Yeah.
It'll work. You can beat it in a submission and it'll work. So that was something that kind of always stuck with me. And
sure,
that's
really good.
I love that. I've always told my son, I always use this. He was like competitively skateboarding for a while. And when he was chasing a trick that he couldn't land, I'd always tell him to picture himself landing it. Picture yourself landing that. And I do it with motocross. He races motocross. Picture yourself winning.
Yep.
Picture yourself landing that. And it's sort of the same philosophy.
Yeah.
And I think it helped him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll look back on that one day. He'll either say, my dad was an asshole. Or he'll be like, remember my dad telling me this. Like, we'll see. I don't know.
I don't think so. It's good. You have to have a certain amount of practice and skill set behind it,
right?
Of course, to back it up. And like I said, you can't lie to yourself. You're the one person you can't lie to.
Right. You're not dropping in on that 12-foot vert ramp and being like, first time out, I just got on the skateboard. Okay,
I can do it.
Picture yourself landing this misty flip.
I'm going to picture myself liking you.
You think it'll work?
I don't know. I'm going to start doing it every day. Just go in there.
Yeah. You don't have to tell yourself that. I think you just naturally are drawn to my charm.
Your charming and kind words. Gary, this has absolutely been fucking amazing.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, guys.
Yeah.
Been a blast, dude. But before we let you go, I do want to know what's the one, and maybe you can't share this because that's could be your secret weapon. What's the car that you would drop everything tomorrow if somebody called and said they want to build and they want you to design it?
I have a Cobra. I've actually done a lot of design work on it, and it was a stillborn project. Did CAD model, everything.
Yep.
And the customer decided he didn't want to do it, and I actually bought it back from him. I bought the design rights back from him, because when I do something for a customer, they own it as far as I'm concerned. Before I put it on Instagram, I get their permission. Like when I do work for somebody, they own that work. So I bought it back from him. But that's one that I felt strongly enough about it to, put my money where my mouth was and buy it back. So yeah, that would be the one. I can't disclose much more. If there's somebody out there, it's ready to go.
Looking for it.
But yeah, that's.
You have to, on air right now, admit you're going to come back and do this again. Oh, but we got to run it back because I think there's so much more, and we're going to figure something out. I think maybe it needs to be like maybe a segment or something with Gary every so often, whatever. This was a really lot of fun. I don't think we even touched the iceberg.
Yeah,
tip of the iceberg.
I'd love to.
He's just throwing out stuff. Oh yeah, did some jet ski racing and stuff like that. No,
that was a random.
It's like so many things.
Yeah, it's
lots of stories.
Yeah, that had to stop when car design school started. But
it's a lot more to this book.
Life.
Yeah, I also liked how we started off the podcast with, you saying that your wife said you'd be okay because it's about your favorite topic, you. Yeah. And we ended with, my best piece of advice is just picture yourself winning.
Hell yeah.
This is fit right in.
This is sounding like a Josh podcast.
I think we just became best friends. Oh, Gary, it's been awesome.
Been really cool, dude.
Yeah, pleasure, guys. Thank you. Appreciate
Remember, hptuners.com, tune all the toys, Good Guys Rod and Custom. We got Des Moines coming up July 3rd through 5th, and Columbus July 10th through 12th. Make sure you get your tickets. Hang out at the DoubleTree in Dublin for Columbus, and we'll see you guys next week.
We'll see you. Thanks.